A round of applause for Valerie.
Fine girl. See how you're blushing like a baby that was tickled.
Of course, I'm a baby.
Okay class, that will be all for today. See you tomorrow at noon for our next topic. Good day class.
What is it, Nestor?
You promised to stay with me after school for my football practice, remember?
Oh yes I do remember, and please, make sure the practice doesn't take much time, you know how worried my mother can get.
Of course, I do. Mummy's girl.
Hey Val, see you tomorrow. And thanks for earlier.
It's nothing, Angel. See you tomorrow.
Come on sluggish, walk fast, I don't want to be scolded again.
Mirabelle, who was already there with her friends to watch the boys practice, turned to see Nestor holding Valerie's hand as they walked into the field. She immediately got jealous because she had a crush on Nestor.
Is that not your crush and his bestie?
Don't worry, soon he will be holding my hand and not hers.
How soon? Can't you see the chemistry between them? Babe, just forget it, that guy is not for you, you can't have this one like the others.
Laugh as much as you can, Valerie, because soon, he will be mine. An hour into the practice, Valerie kept cheering Nestor up to keep him more active as he practiced. He was their best player, and also had a bright future in football.
Come on Nestor, keep up.
You know you're a lucky guy, Nestor. See how your girl is busy supporting and encouraging you, while others are here waiting to collect money they didn't work for.
Fred said, eyeing Mirabelle, who was busy chit-chatting with her friends.
Guy, I don't know what you're talking about, but as for me, I'm grateful to have such a friend as Valerie. I can't trade her for anything in this world.
Guy, you mean you guys are just friends? That means I can try my luck.
Try which luck? Guy, respect yourself and face your front. I don't want to see you close to Valerie for any reason.
30 minutes later, Nestor was through with his training. He walked up to Valerie, who was helping him to hold his bag, smiling. He collected his bag and sat down to drink the water that Valerie offered to him.
Thanks, Val.
You're welcome, Nestor. You have really improved your skills, and I'm sure it will take you places.
Thanks, Valerie. You sure do know how to encourage me. Don't worry, I'll definitely remember you when I make it big.
Story, I pray all those beautiful girls don't make you forget me when that time comes. Nestor, let's go before my mom comes looking for me.
Alright, let's go.
Nestor, why don't you come over to my mother's store and let me get you something chilled to drink, before you get to your house?
Alright.
He followed her to her mother's store, and stand close to the entrance. He peeped inside the store, and saw how big the store was from the inside. He also saw Valerie's mother discussing with a customer, while her sales girls were busy arranging the goods bought by the customer in a carton.
Here you go,
Valerie said, handing Nestor a plastic of cold mineral.
Wow, I never knew this store is this big, and there are varieties of goods in it.
Yeah, it is. Maybe you should come around by the weekend, so I can show you around. What do you think?
Please, my regards to your mom. I need to start going, and don't forget to do our assignment. You know how it is.
You're never a serious person when it comes to books. The only thing you're serious with that I know is your football, and nothing else.
That's what will put food on my table one day. Bye.
Bye. Mummy, good afternoon.
Sweetheart, how are you, and how was school today?
School was fine, but I missed you.
You think you're still a baby, right? Meet my close pal, Aunt Julia. She just relocated to Lagos. Valerie turned her head to greet Aunt Julia, but the aura she felt from her wasn't good. She brushed it off and greeted her.
Welcome, ma'am. I'll have to tell Mummy about what I feel. There must be something about this her friend.
How are you, Valerie? You've really grown. The last time I saw you, you were so small.
I'm fine, ma'am, thank you.
Valerie replied and went ahead to get herself something to drink. Dear, I guess she's just tired and hungry. Please relax and enjoy your drink. Where's this girl? Sonia, come and clear this place, and please join Tracy to attend to customers when you're done. Aunt Julia watched, as Valerie's mother joined her sales girls to attend to customers. She felt so jealous of her friend's progress, because nothing was working for her. Her business has crumbled, and she has become so broke that she had to relocate to Lagos, because she couldn't repay the loan she collected from some loan sharks who were threatening her.
See how Vicky is flourishing, look at her business, and how she's progressing on all sides. This is someone I'm better than. No, I can't keep asking her for help. I need to get the source of her wealth for myself.
Valerie stood in front of one of the deep freezers in her mother's store, and saw how Aunt Janet stared at her mother, and the way she smiled. At that moment, she confirmed her suspicions.
See how innocent my mother is, thinking this her friend is a good person. I must tell Mum what I saw, and how I feel about this her friend. I don't like her a bit.
She joined her mom and the sales girls to attend to customers because they were much, but she seized every opportunity she had to look at Aunt Julia from time to time, just to be sure they were safe.
This girl will really be a problem for me. If I don't act smart, I have to make sure she doesn't suspect me even for a second. Vicky dear, your customers are much, and it seems like you need an extra hand. Let me help you.
My dear, that's how it is. That's why Valerie comes to the store every day after school to assist me. If not, I wouldn't be able to attend to my customers on time.
That's very thoughtful of her. She's really a good girl.
She turned and rolled her eyes before asking a customer what he wanted.
Please give me 2 packs of 20 kilograms Sumovita, and 5 liters of power oil.
Okay.
Aunt Julia rushed and asked Valerie's mother the cost of the things the customer wanted, and she was told. She took everything and gave it to the customer, who in return gave her money for the goods, and asked her to keep the change.
Oh, thank you, you're kind.
She went back and gave Valerie's mother the money, who later gave her change for the customer, not knowing that the customer had left. Aunt Julia collected the change, and acted like she was going to give the customer, only to put it in the waist of her trousers, as she walked to attend to another customer. She helped out with the sales, till the customers were all gone, but not without stealing some money, and hiding the ones she was asked to keep. All these Valerie saw but kept quiet. She only shook her head and wondered what her mother saw in Aunt Julia to keep her as a friend. Aunt Julia stayed for 2 hours more, before she decided to leave.
Vicky, I'm so happy to finally come close to you. I don't know what I would have done if you had refused to help me when I needed it. Maybe by now, I would have been on the streets with my daughter begging for alms.
Come on, dear, don't say that. You're like a sister to me, and I'm glad to have you here with me. Don't worry, everything will be fine soon, okay? Tracy, please package some beverages, spaghetti, and other condiments for my friend.
Yes, ma'am.
Julian, please manage these little things here, and add this money to it. I promise to do better as time goes on. Vicky handed a brown envelope containing $40 to Aunt Julia.
What, all these for me? Wow, thank you so much, Vicky. I'm forever grateful to you.
Valerie sat in a corner, looking at her mother as she gifted Aunt Julia.
She saw the reaction on Aunt Julia's face as she hugged her mom, and how she rolled her eyes and raised her nose.
This woman is so bad, Mummy needs to beware of her.
Valerie dear, I'm leaving. Do take care of yourself alright, and be a good girl.
I hope you never come back.
A few minutes after Aunt Julia left, Valerie went to her mom to tell her what she saw, and how she felt about her friend Aunt Julia, but her mom asked her to hold on till they got home, because she was trying to place some orders for her goods.
Alright Mummy, I think my work here is done. I've got a difficult assignment to do, and I need all the time I can get to do it. See you when you get home.
Alright sweetheart.
Love you Mummy, bye.
She took her bag and left after saying goodbye to Tracy and Sonia. 30 minutes later, Aunt Julia had gotten to her house, and she saw her daughter, who was a year younger than Valerie, sleeping, and everywhere still untidy, just as she had left it since morning.
Stand up, you this lazy girl. So you couldn't sweep and clean this house since morning. What kind of child are you?
She yelled, after dropping the big bag containing everything Valerie's mother gave her.
Mummy, I'm hungry. I couldn't do anything because I was hungry and weak.
It's okay, sorry I took so long. Go and get a plate and spoon. I brought some beverages from my friend's store, eat some before you vanish out of hunger.
Her daughter zoomed off to get the plate and spoon. She filled the plate with Golden Morn cereal and added some milk. She couldn't wait to warm up some water, so she added ordinary water, and started eating like a thief. Aunt Julia watched her daughter for some seconds and shook her head. She put her hand in her bra and brought out the money she stole. She did the same with her trouser waist and brought out all the money.
Wow, Mummy, where did you steal all this money from?
Come and shut up and eat your food. I got $36 in minutes. I wonder how much I will get if I own the source.
I wonder what you gain in hurting other people.
Aunt Julia turned swiftly at her daughter and raised her hand to hit her on her back, but she paused halfway and hissed in between her teeth.
I don't blame you. Just be happy that I'm in a good mood, or else, I would have landed you a hot slap on that back of yours, foodie.
But Mummy, I'm your daughter, and I should be the one to tell you the truth at all times.
Keep the truth to yourself. How much has your truth brought to the table, or how has it helped you? Come on, leave this place now and start cleaning before I change my mind and descend on you.
I just hope you know how to count your teeth with your tongue, because a time will come when you'll need to. God knows I'm not part of it.
She said and ran out laughing. Aunt Julian couldn't do anything, because Queen was out of her reach, but she promised to deal with her when she got hold of her. Back in Valerie's house, Valerie had already done all she needed to do. She brought out her assignments and sat down in her room, but the thought of Aunt Julia kept coming to her mind, especially the suspicious smiles on her face. She couldn't help but feel somewhat worried for her mom.
There's something that's not right about that lady. I just hope Mom will believe me when I tell her everything I saw today.
She opened her textbook. She got to the page where the assignment was given, but still she could not concentrate. She kept trying to take her mind off Aunt Julian, but she couldn't, and then with anger, she closed the textbook and held her head in frustration.
Arg, what is wrong with me?
Nothing is wrong with you, sweetheart. In fact, you're looking good and healthy.
Daddy.
Hello dear, how have you been? I've missed you so much, my sweet Valerie.
I've missed you too, Daddy. Thank you for coming home. I was beginning to wonder if you had abandoned me.
Not in this life or the next will I ever do that. You and your mother are my entire world. I can never trade the both of you for all the riches in the world.
Oh Daddy, I'm glad to hear that. Mommy will be so happy to see you.
I know that, and I can't wait to see my wife too.
They both laughed and walked out of Valerie's room holding hands.
Wow, Daddy, what's in all these bags? They are much.
They are for you and your mom. I went for a little shopping for my queen and princess.
Thanks Daddy, you're the best. I can't wait for Mommy to return home, so that we can go through these together.
Alright, dear, let me go and freshen up. I guess your mom should be on her way home. It's already evening. See you in a jiffy.
Yes Daddy. God, thank you for blessing me with wonderful parents. I couldn't have asked for more.
Oh God, I'm so tired, I really do need some massage.
You sure do need one, dear, and I'm here to take care of that.
When did you arrive, and why didn't you call me?
I wanted to surprise you and Valerie.
And it worked. I was surprised to see Daddy too.
Valerie, have you done your assignment? Remember I saw you close your textbook out of frustration.
What happened? Is it difficult? Bring it to me later after dinner, let's solve it together.
I've done it already. It wasn't that difficult for me to do. It's just that something kept bothering me.
What's bothering you, Valerie dear? Tell it to Daddy and see it solved.
Go on dear, tell us what's bothering you.
Mummy, it's about your friend, Aunt Julian. There's something off about her that keeps giving me the chills.
Who's that, honey? Who is Valerie talking about?
Oh dear, it's Julian, my very good friend. Remember I told you about her earlier. That's who she's talking about. And what is it about her that gives you the chills? You think I didn't notice your attitude towards her, when she said hello to you, right? What was that about?
But Mommy, I greeted her, and also replied to her compliments. I didn't do anything.
Oh really? I don't know where you learned that from, but it's definitely not good. Do you know she also has a daughter like you?
Hey honey, please take it easy. You know Valerie too well. She wouldn't do that if she didn't feel something odd about it.
Oh, so now you're supporting the bad thing she did, right? In fact, I'm done here.
She stormed out of the dining room, while her husband and daughter watched surprised.
What just happened?
Daddy, I didn't.
It's okay Valerie, please go to your room when you're done. I'll join you later, okay? What was that all about, Vicky? Why did you walk out on us like that, and why this behavior towards Valerie?
I didn't like the fact that you're siding with Valerie for the wrong thing she did, instead of correcting her.
Is that why you walked out of the dinner we were having as a family? Do you know how surprised and disappointed Valerie feels about your sudden attitude? All because of a friend. At least, you should have waited to hear what your daughter has to say. Maybe there's a reason behind her attitude towards your friend. Valerie has never misbehaved around anyone before. Don't you think there's more to this?
I'm sorry I overreacted. I allowed my emotions to rule my sense of reasoning. Julian has been through a lot, and I didn't want anything that would hurt her feelings.
No dear, you have to apologize to Valerie. I believe she's more hurt than I am, and please, let this not repeat itself again.
Valerie lost her appetite, and couldn't eat anymore because of what her mother did. She cleared the dining and went to her room. She lay on her bed thinking about her mother's attitude towards her. She found it absurd, because she had never seen her mother behave in such a manner before.
Can I talk to you? Val, I'm sorry about what happened. I hope you're not angry with your mom. I know she overreacted, but hey, I believe she has realized her mistake. Forgive her, okay?
I'm not angry, Daddy. Mom didn't give me a chance to tell her what I noticed about her friend. She just got angry and left.
What did you notice about her friend?
Daddy, I saw her looking at Mommy in a bad way, and even after Mommy gave her some provisions, she hugged Mommy but rolled her eyes behind her, like she wasn't appreciating.
Did you tell your mom?
No, Daddy. That was what I was about to tell her before she got angry.
I see.
And Daddy, that's not all. I saw her hiding money in her bra and trouser waist.
You mean you saw her stealing money in the store?
Yes, Daddy, and it wasn't just once, but severally.
This is serious. Did anyone see her stealing the money apart from you?
I don't know, Daddy, but I suspected that Tracy knew, because of the way she looked at Aunt Julian when she was leaving.
That's all right. I'll find out myself, but for now, don't tell anyone, including your mom, until I say so, okay?
Thanks, Daddy, for believing me.
It's all right, sweetheart. I know you'll never lie about something like this. Now let's pray before you sleep.
Okay, Daddy.
Heavenly Father, as this day comes to an end, we come to you with hearts full of gratitude. Thank you for your guidance, protection, and the blessings you have provided for us. Lord, your word reminds us in Psalm 4:8, in peace we will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make us dwell in safety. We place our trust in you tonight, knowing that you are our refuge and strength. We bring our burdens to you, as you have said in Matthew 11:28, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. We surrender all our worries and fears into your hands. Fill our hearts with your peace and renew our strength for tomorrow. Lord, your promise in Proverbs 3:24 gives us comfort. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. May your peace surround us and our loved ones as we rest tonight. Thank you for your unending love and protection. Watch over us through the night, and let your presence guide our dreams. In Jesus' name, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Now close your eyes and sleep. You're going to school tomorrow.
Thanks, Daddy. Good night.
Good night.
Very early the next morning, Valerie was woken by a peck on her forehead. She opened her eyes to see her mother smiling down at her.
Good morning.
Morning, dear. Hope you slept well. Valerie, I'm sorry about my attitude yesterday. I guess I overreacted.
It's okay, Mommy. I'm not angry with you. Where's Daddy?
He's in the room, still lying down.
All right, I want him to drop me off at school today.
Sure, he also made mention of something like that. Go and take your bath while I prepare breakfast.
Okay, Mom. Good morning, Daddy.
Hey, sweetheart. I guess you slept well last night.
Yes, Daddy. Please can you drop me off at school? I'm already getting late.
Her father laughed and brought out the car key from his pocket.
That's what I'm about to do, dear. Let's go.
They got to the school gate within minutes, and Valerie came out of the car and said goodbye to her father as she ran to join her classmates.
Now, I'll have to find out everything Valerie told me. And I just hope it's not true, because I won't take it easy on both Vicky and her friend.
Hey honey, you're back so soon. I'm about to step out. I need to go to the store. Some of my goods are coming in today, and I need to be there to see for myself. I'll be early, okay? Don't miss me much.
All right, dear. See you later. Now it's time to find out the truth.
He opened his wardrobe and brought out a small bag that looked like a box. He opened it and brought out a phone. He switched it on, entered the password, and then scrolled through some videos. He got to the recent one and clicked on play. He was not surprised at what he saw in the video, because he knew that Valerie wasn't lying.
Vicky will never learn. I've warned her severally about her friend, but she wouldn't listen. Maybe this would convince her.
He dropped the device on the bed. Vicky got to her store and was surprised to see her friend standing outside with her sales girls. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Tracy and Sonia greeted her, and took her bag from her. They collected the keys to the store and went in, to begin the day's work, while Vicky walked up to Julian, her friend, who stood there smiling. Julian dear, how come you're here so early?
I wasn't doing anything at home, so I decided to come early to help out with your sales.
Oh, that's thoughtful of you, thanks dear, I'll really appreciate an extra hand, because my goods are coming in today.
Oh, that's nice, business is really going well for you.
My sister, it's God, he has been really good to me.
That's great, thank God for you, dear.
This woman is not a good person, see the way she looked at Madam just now.
Sonia, this one is small, if you see the way she looked at Madam yesterday. You won't believe it, I don't know why, but I'm having a bad feeling about this woman, merely looking at her, you can tell she's not a good person. I saw her stealing money yesterday, she didn't remit some of the money from the things she sold yesterday.
What, you mean she stole from Madam yesterday? Who would believe that she could do such a thing?
My dear, they don't write it on the forehead. We just have to be careful, because it seems like we now have another worker, this one that she came early today.
I just hope we don't get into trouble because of her.
Nestor, what's up? You came late today again as usual.
Nestor didn't say anything, he just rubbed his head, sat down on his seat, and watched as Valerie rounded up what she was doing with their classmate.
What happened? You're quiet today. Did someone offend you?
I'm all right, just a bit hungry.
Is that why you're looking like a child whose favorite toys were snatched from him? I've told you severally to always carry extra snacks whenever you're going for your early morning practice, but you wouldn't listen.
There's no way I can do that. That's why I have you.
Valerie shook her head and opened her bag. She brought out some snacks that she brought, and gave them to Nestor.
I know I can always count on you, Val. You're my lifesaver.
A few hours later, they were done with class and were on break. Valerie went to the restroom and met Mirabelle and her friends there. She waited outside for them to finish up, because she knew that Mirabelle never liked her.
Babe, your rival is outside waiting for us to come out.
Ask her to come in, there's enough room here for everyone.
Valerie, you can come in, there's enough space inside, unless you want to stand here the whole day.
Don't worry, I'm not in a hurry, I'll wait till you girls are done.
Suit yourself.
Yes, can I help you? And why are you standing so close?
You think you're the smartest or decent girl in this school, right? Well, I'll prove you and everyone wrong, just wait and watch how I expose you to the whole school. And as for Nestor, he's mine, stay away from him if you know what's good for you.
Well, Mirabelle, I don't have to think of anything because I don't really care what you or anyone say or think about me. Because your opinion doesn't matter the slightest to me. And as for Nestor, I owe you no explanation, and please stop imagining things because the Nestor that I know would never stoop so low to have anything with you. And let this be the last time you'll ever approach me in such a manner again, else, I won't be this kind again.
Don't worry, you'll hear from me soon.
And I'll be waiting, Mirabelle. And make sure you hurry up.
I thought that girl was easy prey, I didn't know she's got fire underneath her calm nature.
Don't worry, I know how to deal with her type. Valerie was so angry, she didn't hear Nestor calling her. While she was walking fast to her class, she walked past him and went straight to sit on her chair. Some of her classmates who were still in class were surprised at her countenance, because they had never seen Valerie in such a mood before. It was either she was smiling or laughing, but not frowning or angry.
What happened to Valerie? Is she alright?
I don't think so, she looks upset, maybe someone has really done something wrong to her.
Hey, What's up with you? I was calling you earlier, but you walked past me like you didn't see me. And why do you look so upset? What happened? Common Valerie. Don't be angry with me. I only went to do what coach asked me to do in the guys' locker room. There's no way you can go there with me. Val, I'm sorry. Stop being angry. I'm not used to seeing you like this.
I'm not angry with you, Nestor. I'm not just happy. Something got me upset, but I'll get over it.
Valerie, who got you angry? Valerie, who got you so angry that made you ignore me the way you did?
Nestor, please, I'm all right. Nobody got me angry. I was only upset about something, that's all.
It's all right. Come, let's go to the field. I need to see coach. Something is bothering me, and I really need to discuss it with coach.
What is it, Nestor? What's bothering you?
It's nothing serious. I just want to ask him something.
Nestor went to his locker, he opened it and brought out a very beautiful handband. He hid it, and made sure that Valerie or anyone else didn't see it, before putting it in his pocket.
Nestor, are you sure everything is fine with you? All right, let's go.
If I didn't know these two very well, I would have said there's something between them.
Honestly, they make a good pair.
Nestor, look, coach is over there. Let's walk fast to catch up with him before he leaves.
If only you know how much you mean to me.
Nestor, what are you doing? Come on, let's go.
Julian, thanks for coming. In fact, I believe it was God that made you come today. If not, I wonder how I would have coped.
It's nothing, Susan. I'm glad I could help in my own little way, and I've decided to keep coming, since I don't have anything doing for now.
Oh, that would be great. At least I'll have someone I can gist with. Ma'am, someone is seeking your attention,
Sonia said, and continued with what she was doing. Valerie's mother left immediately, and went to attend to the customer who wanted to see her, leaving her drink with Aunt Julian.
Careless woman, you're making everything so easy for me. I'll make sure I deal with you slowly, that way, nobody will suspect me.
She slowly brought out a piece of paper containing some white substance. She looked around and saw that nobody was watching. She opened Valerie's mother's drink, and added half of the substance in the drink. She shook the bottle, and made sure the substance was well incorporated with the drink, before dropping it on the small table, where Valerie's mother keeps her stock books. She kept the remaining substance, and cleaned her hands on her top.
This is how I'll be feeding you this poison little by little, till it finally eats you up.
Oh dear, sorry I kept you waiting. It's one of my big customers. He wanted to find out something, that was why he asked to see me.
She stood and took her drink from the table. She was about drinking it, when Tracy came and gave her a list of what a customer wanted.
Tracy, what's this? Why are you giving me this list?
Ma'am, look at the prices attached to each goods that was listed. It doesn't correspond to ours.
These customers are funny. How can they expect me to sell these goods in such prices? I didn't even buy it with such amount. Please return the list, and ask the person to go back and rewrite the list. Let them know that the prices of things has added.
Okay, ma'am. Funny customer.
Don't mind them, dear.
Take your drink, dear. Ma'am, the customer said you should come. She doesn't believe me when I told her what you said.
It's all right, tell her I'm coming. Excuse me, Julian, let me attend to my customer.
I don't know who's playing tricks with me, but you must drink from this.
That woman is so funny. She didn't believe Tracy when she told her what I said. I had to repeat everything to her again before she agreed.
That's how some of them behave.
She took a sip from her drink. Valerie's mother did same, she took her drink from the table and drank from it. Aunt Julian watched and smiled mischievously.
Good afternoon, Coach.
Hey Nestor, how are you?
I'm fine, Coach. I just wanted to know if it's still possible for the deal to pull through.
Yes, Nestor, it will pull through. I spoke with one of the officials earlier today. They are the ones who are in a hurry to pull it through, so don't worry. It will be my pride and honor to see it pull through.
Thank you, sir. I'll forever be grateful to you for this. I promise I won't disappoint you.
I know that already, and I'm proud to be your coach. Alright then, I need to be somewhere else right now. We'll see during training tomorrow.
Yes, yes, yes. Good God. Thank you for you have done it again. May your name be praised.
It seems I'm missing out on something. Tell me, what's making you so happy like this? Why are you so happy, and what did you tell Coach that made him look so proud of you? You know you can be a lot of things at a time, but I've never seen you so happy and grateful about something. You even raised your face to the sky, and I can swear you said a short prayer. Tell me, Nestor, what's up?
Nestor didn't want to tell her anything yet. He wanted it to be a surprise when he was sure the deal had pulled through, so he cooked up a lie immediately.
Oh well, I suggested our next competition. It was something we needed, and I was able to figure out a solution. That was why he was happy with me.
Are you sure there's nothing more? Then why were you so happy?
Common Val, you ask so many questions. I was happy because, for the first time, the coach bought my idea, and it felt so good. You know how strict he can be, so it meant a lot to me when he bought my idea.
It's alright, I'm happy you're making an impact on your team, and for the first time, I saw the coach feeling pleased with you. That's a plus for you, Nestor. I think it's time for us to get back to class. The break is almost over.
Valerie, I have something for you.
Oh really, what's that?
Nestor smiled, put his hand in his right pocket, and brought out a beautiful handband. At first, he was skeptical about it, because he didn't know if Valerie would like it, but the expression on Valerie's face gave him reason to breathe properly, because he saw happiness in her eyes.
Wow, Nestor, this is so beautiful. My name is even written on it. Thanks, I already like it a lot.
Valerie said happily, as she waited for Nestor to put it in her hand. Nestor was so happy, and he wore the band in her right hand.
Thanks, Nestor, I'll always put it on. This means so much to me.
Valerie, I wanted you to have this handband. It is more like a promising band. I just want you to know that no matter what, or where I'll be, I'll always remember you, and will be there for you.
Nestor, are you going somewhere?
No, Valerie, it's just a promise I'm making to you. See, I also have mine.
He said, showing Valerie his left wrist. Valerie saw that it was the same color, and his name was written on it as well. She also noticed that her name was written on the inner part of the handband. She looked at the one she was wearing and saw his name on the inner part of it too. She smiled, and then looked at him in the eyes.
I'll always cherish this, Nestor, I promise.
Let's go back inside. I believe the break is over.
First, to get to class, I will eat the snacks that are in my locker.
They started running and laughing, while Nestor chased after her, laughing too. All this while, Mirabelle and her friends stood in one of the empty classes watching Nestor and Valerie. All her friends could feel her anger and jealousy, because it was written all over her. Mirabelle looked like she was suffocating. She wasn't aware that she held her breath for more than a minute.
Babe, what's wrong with you? Calm down. Nestor is not the only fine guy in this school.
Let him be, you can get any other guy of your choice. Nestor is the only one I want, and he is my choice. Nobody else. Whatever. I won't be a part of whatever you're planning. I've got better things to do than this. Valerie's father sat in the parlor going through some fashion magazines, while he waited for his wife and daughter to come home. He couldn't wait for his wife to see the clips on the CCTV he installed in her store, and to also tell her some few words about her attitude towards their daughter. He took a look at his wristwatch and saw that it was almost time for closing hour, and he promised to pick Valerie up from school. He went to his room to get his car key, but couldn't find it where he thought he had kept it. He searched around, but still couldn't find it. He went back to the parlor to check if it was there, but still, he couldn't find it there either. At this time, he was already feeling frustrated. He went back to the room and searched again, but this time, he flung the duvet off the bed and paused, when he heard a loud sound on the floor. He turned round to see what made the sound, only to discover that it was the device that was connected to the CCTV that fell on the floor, after smashing the wall.
Oh no.
He bent over to pick it up. He looked at it carefully, and saw that the screen had been condemned. He felt so bad, and blamed himself for being so careless.
What do I do now? Vicky will never believe me without evidence.
Then it occurred to him that he kept the car key in his pocket. He touched his left pocket, and felt the key in it. He hissed and murmured under his breath.
Can't you just say I'm here, or just make a sound? Now see what you've made me do.
Julian, did you hear what I said?
Oh, sorry dear, I didn't hear you, my mind drifted off.
What's the matter, Julian? You look troubled. What's bothering you?
Dear, I'm worried about my daughter's education. She's just at home doing nothing, while her mates are in school studying. Honestly, I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm a bad mother.
Don't worry, soon you'll be settled, I promise.
Thank you so much, Vicky. I don't know what I would have done without you.
It's all right, dear. What are friends for? All right, I was saying you should take whatever you want before you leave, and also take some more beverages for Queen. Tell her I can't wait to see her. She happily handed her another envelope with money in it.
Oh, Vicky, you're doing too much for me already. Thank you so much, dear. I don't even know what to say anymore.
It's nothing, dear. I know you would do the same for me if I were in your shoes.
I'll never forget everything you've done for me, Vicky. You're my godsend. Thank you so much.
That's okay. I'll need to leave early so that I can go to the market to get some things. I need to prepare my husband's favorite meal. He came back yesterday surprising Valerie and me.
Wow, that's nice. It's been a long time since I saw him. How is he doing?
Oh, he's fine and handsome.
You this Vicky, you will not change. I remember that's one of the qualities that got you attracted to him.
Yes, it's the face that attract before any other thing. They both burst into another round of laughter, attracting Tracy and Sonia, who were busy attending to customers.
You this woman, I'm not sure you'll ever change from being naughty.
I can't, my sister. That's one sweet part of me that makes him happy. My dear, I have to get going before it gets late. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Hope you'll come around. And don't forget to take whatever you want, okay? Valerie's mother hugged her goodbye. She called her sales girls and gave them some generous tips for a job well done for the day, and also instructed them to take care of the store, and also assist Aunt Julian with whatever she wanted. Aunt Julian stood at the entrance, and watched as Valerie's mother drove off, and the moment she saw that the car was no more in view, she turned and hissed, as she walked into the store to get her bag.
Tracy, come here fast.
Tracy, I think Miss Snatcher is calling you. I heard her call your name.
I heard it too, but I won't answer. See the way she ordered me like she's the owner of this store. Even the madam whom we work for has respect for us, and doesn't order us like Miss Snatcher just did. No, I won't give her that opportunity to order me around.
What if tomorrow she reports to Madam that you refused to answer her call?
I'll deny it. I'll simply tell Madam that I didn't hear her call my name. Oh really, you'll deny it, right? Let's wait for tomorrow then. Sonia, go in and put together everything that's on this list, and be fast about it. This woman is a greedy fellow, an opportunist, everything she's taking is more than $200. What a world.
She watched Sonia package everything in a big bag. Aunt Julian could see the hatred Tracy had for her, and saw that she wasn't pleased with the things she had taken. She looked at the bag and realized that she must have taken too much, so she asked Sonia to drop some items, and took the remaining one.
Take it to the road and find a taxi for me.
Okay, ma'am.
If only Madam knew who you are.
Valerie's father got to the school on time to pick her up. He thought about what to do with the device that got broken, while he waited for her in the car.
Hey, what happened?
My dad, he's at the school gate, and I wouldn't want him to see me holding hands with you.
Oh, I see. But why? He knows me, and he also knows how close we are.
I know, but like I said, I don't want him to see me holding hands with you. I don't have the strength for questions. I know my dad, he will not be happy about it.
That's okay. I understand. Let me walk you to the car.
Daddy, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hey Nestor, how are you?
He extended his hand for a handshake. Nestor shook his hand and replied to him, as a warm feeling went through him.
Good, it's nice to see you again. Shall we?
Yes, Daddy.
She went around to sit at the front, while Nestor stood watching. Valerie's father opened the car door and paused.
Hey Nestor, why don't you join us? Let me drop you off.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
He sat at the back behind the driver's seat. The ride home was a quiet one, only soft music and a faint sound from Valerie's father could be heard, as he was humming along with the music. They got to Nestor's house, and he parked in front of the gate.
Alright Nestor, see you tomorrow.
Valerie's father said, as Nestor alighted from the car.
Bye, Nestor. See you tomorrow, and make sure you don't come late to school, almighty footballer.
Thank you, sir. And yes, ma'am. See you.
A few minutes later, Valerie and her father were already at their house, but still sitting in the car. Her father looked at her and smiled.
Valerie, I've always known you to be truthful and upright. I never doubted you when you said those things about your mother's friend. But like you know, I love doing my things with evidence.
But Dad, what I said was the truth. I never lied about any of the things I said.
I know dear, I'm not saying you lied. I'm only trying to let you know that I saw everything.
Really? How?
I installed a CCTV in your mother's store, but I guess she forgot that I did, so I went to check it out, and saw everything myself. And it was just as you said. But there's a problem. I mistakenly broke the device, while I was looking for the car key to come pick you up, and it's broken. I need to fix it before we tell your mom and show her evidence.
That's true, Daddy. Mommy would never believe us without evidence. But I'm grateful and happy that there's evidence, as long as the device can be fixed.
Yes, at least we have something to show as proof. Let's go in. I bet your mom is around doing some culinary work in the kitchen.
Mummy, who owns this bag?
It's your father's father that owns it. Come on, shut up your big mouth and bring it inside. Good for nothing girl.
Mommy, please come and help me put it on my head. I can't carry it alone. This woman has gone to pack someone's goods. She has seen where she'll be taking advantage, and she doesn't want to cool down. God sees me, my hands are clean. Mummy, this bag is heavy, what's inside?
Aunt Julian ignored her, as she was busy counting the money she had stolen again.
This is just the beginning. By the time I'm done with my plans, I'll be the one boasting, while you decay in the grave.
Mommy, why are you smiling? Is there something you're not sharing with me?
When did I start sharing my thoughts with you? Queen, don't give me reasons to do the unthinkable to you. Now open that bag and bring out the items, keep each one where it's supposed to be, and be fast about it.
Queen did as she was told, but was surprised at the amount of things that were in the bag.
Mummy, did Aunt Vicky give you all this stuffs? Because this must have cost a lot. I wonder how much she makes from her business, if she can give you this much.
Queen kept crying, while her mother stood up to use the restroom, and left her handbag behind. She stood up quietly, opened her mother's bag, and took the envelope that Valerie's mother gave her. She opened it, and took almost half of the money that was inside, and quickly went back to the position she was in, after she had returned the envelope from where she had taken it. A few weeks later, Aunt Julian had become a regular at Valerie's mother's store, and she had successfully added more of her substance to Vicky's drinks, and sometimes her food, and she had started feeling the effects.
I don't feel alright, I've been feeling very weak for almost a week now.
Oh, sorry dear, I guess it's stress. It happens sometimes. Why don't you take a rest?
I think you're right, but I have to see the doctor for some diagnoses, to be sure of what I'm dealing with.
There's no need for that. I believe all you need is rest, and I do feel the same way sometimes. I can help you with some home remedies. It helped me recover fast.
Alright, I'll try it. I hope it works for me too.
I'll bring it tomorrow. Don't worry, you'll be fine once you drink from it.
Thank you.
She turned to look at the sales girls. Tracy was attending to a customer, while Sonia was busy with something else.
Soon, all these will be mine, including your husband, and your home. I'm sorry Vicky, I can't keep eating from the crumbs on your table forever. It's time you take a bow.
Sir, I'm sorry, I don't know how it got so damaged. I told my boys not to touch it, but they disobeyed me. I'm sorry, sir.
Sorry. Did you say sorry? How do you expect me to get the information I wanted from this device? I needed this fixed properly. That was why I brought it to you. But you ended up damaging it, to the point I lost everything recorded in it. How do you expect me to come up with what I needed from this?
Sir, please, I am sorry. I know I have done damage to whatever information you needed from this device. I take credit for everything. Please, sir, forgive me. I'll replace it before the week runs out, and also make sure to find a way to get whatever information you needed from it.
Don't worry about it, the deed has been done.
Daddy, what happened? Why do you look so unhappy?
But her father couldn't say anything, as he was still very upset. She started having a bad feeling that something was wrong, and she attempted to go in to ask what happened, and why her father was so angry, but her father stopped her, and asked her not to bother.
Let it be, Valerie. The device is ruined, and there's nothing we can do about it. All the proof we have is gone. I guess we just have to look for a way to fix another CCTV in the store.
So what do we do? Are we just going to let everything go just like that? How do we tell Mummy what her friend did?
Hey dear, don't feel bad, we will figure a way out, okay? Now get in the car, let's go home. I believe your mom is already at home.
Daddy, concerning Mommy, I noticed she has been weak for some days. Sometimes I see her holding her stomach like someone who's in pain, and then she'll stop. Whenever I ask her, she'll say she's fine. But I sure she's not.
Yes, that's true. She has been complaining about her health recently. I've asked her to go to the hospital, but she's been adamant about it. I guess I'll have to take her myself.
They got home, and were surprised to see the entrance to their house wide open. Valerie and her father rushed out of the car and walked towards the door slowly. Her father looked around in search of the security, but couldn't find him. He then asked Valerie to stay behind him. They heard voices as they got close to the door, and were able to recognize the voice of their security man. They walked in and were surprised to see Aunt Julian. They looked beside her and saw Vicky sitting down on the three-sitter cushion, looking so weak.
Mummy.
She ran to hold her mother, while her father stood still looking at Aunt Julian suspiciously.
Welcome, sir. What are you doing here, and what happened to my wife?
We were at the store, and she was complaining about being weak for some days. I told her that what she needed was rest. She agreed and decided to take a nap, but when a customer who needed her attention came, she could not stand up from her seat. We tried to wake her up, but we couldn't, so I decided to bring her home.
Go and open the gate. I'm taking her to the hospital right now.
Please, let me come with you. Vicky is like a sister to me, and I want to be with her at this moment.
Vicky is not your sister. If she was, you wouldn't do anything that would hurt her. I don't want to meet you here when I come back.
Valerie's father walked past her immediately and went to hold his wife. He asked the security man to open the gate, and he rushed her to the hospital.
Madam, please take your leave now. I want to lock the gate.
Okay, I'm already leaving. Why did Daniel talk to me in such a manner, and why did he look at me suspiciously? Could it be that he's suspecting me? No, there's no way he would. He has not been to the store since he returned from his trip. I'll have to do something about him fast. I can't risk any loose ends.
Doctor, how is my wife? Please talk to me.
Please calm down, Mr. Daniel. We tried all we could, but we lost her. Please take heart.
No, it can't be.
Honey, remember our first date, the little things that made us laugh, and how we became so close? Do you still remember how scared you were when we rode on a horse together on the beach, and you swore never to ride one again? Do you remember your favorite night, the night when I confessed my feelings to you, and told you that I love you? Do you remember? Please answer me, Vicky, tell me you remember everything. I hope you also remember you promised you would never leave me. You said it would be you and I till forever, Vicky. Do you remember? Come on, Vicky, answer me, say something to me, please.
Nestor, my mom has left me.
All this while, Aunt Julian was in her house feeling restless. She kept pacing up and down with one hand on her waist, and the other one holding her phone. Queen kept looking at her, and wondered what could have happened.
Mommy, what's the matter? You've been like this since you came. Did anything happen?
Aunt Julian ignored her, as her thoughts were somewhere else.
I don't like it when I'm left in the dark. I wonder what's going on at the hospital, and it better be what I planned. I just had to do it. I couldn't risk being caught.
What did you do, Mommy? I hope it's not something messy.
What are you doing here, and how long have you been here?
The last time I checked, I lived here, and secondly, you came in and met me sitting here, and I've been asking you what the matter was, but you were carried away by your thoughts. What's the problem, Mommy? What did you do? I must find out what crime you have committed this time again.
She tiptoed to the door and overheard her mother's conversation.
What, poisoned her friend?
She quickly tiptoed back to her seat and pretended like nothing happened, but deep inside, she became terrified of her mother.
Oh, Thank you, wise one. I know I can count on you for anything. I'll come and get it tomorrow, and then we will discuss more. Thank you. Now, it's time to take over what I've always wanted. Daniel, by this time tomorrow, you'll be in my arms while I console you. Queen, I bought something for you. It's inside my bag. Bring the bag and let me give it to you.
Okay.
She brought the bag to her mother. Aunt Julian opened the bag and brought out a pack of Queen's favorite chocolate.
Here, this is for you.
Mommy, I don't feel like eating chocolate today. I've been having running stomachs since morning.
Seriously?
Yes.
Then keep it till when you're fine, then you can eat it. Alright, I need to go and freshen up. I've got a long day tomorrow.
God, please, let it not be what I'm thinking. I hope Aunt Vicky and her family are alright, because I don't trust my mom. I know what she can do, especially when she's jealous.
Aunt Julian came out of the bathroom to get her bag from the room, and saw the chocolate she gave to Queen on the table. She looked at it and saw that it wasn't opened. She was surprised, because she knew how much Queen loved eating chocolate.
What's wrong with this girl? I hope she's not sick. Because I don't have money to waste on drugs. Queen.
Yes, Mommy, you called. Do you need anything?
Queen, are you alright? I thought you were joking when you refused to eat this chocolate because you said you had running stomach. I was surprised to see it still here on the table. Come here, let me take a look at you.
Queen went closer, feeling a bit scared. Her mother was unable to notice it, as she was overwhelmed with concern for her daughter. She touched Queen's forehead to check her temperature, but it was normal. She looked at Queen with questions in her eyes, and Queen understood and answered her immediately.
I took paracetamol, that's why my temperature is normal.
That's good, it seems today is my lucky day. This is one of the best days of my life.
How do you mean, Mom? Is it because of the chocolate, or there's something else?
Oh yes dear, today has been a great day for me. I was able to achieve my aim, and soon I'll be.
Continue, Mommy, soon you'll be what?
I'll be inside.
How's Aunt Vicky and her family?
Aunt Julian became angry, and threw her bag at Queen, who dodged it, and it landed on the floor.
Queen, are you nuts? Are you accusing me of murdering my friend?
What, Aunt Vicky dead? Mommy, you, Aunt Vicky. Are you sure you?
Oh, shut up, Queen, and stop pointing fingers at me. I was going to tell you, but I forgot. The poison must have done its work, and I believe she's where she ought to be right now. Farewell, sister, and thanks for making it easier for me.
Mom, how can you be so calm and happy, knowing that your friend is no more? What kind of a friend are you?
What made you think I'm not sad? I've been crying since. In fact, I'm even more worried about her husband and daughter. I wonder how they'll cope without her.
Oh no, Mummy, you're not sad. I just saw you humming a song happily some minutes ago, and just now, you were smiling at whatever you were thinking. Oh God, let whoever is responsible for Aunt Vicky's death not know peace. Let the person suffer terribly and confess of her crime, before dying a shameful death. Let the person not.
Oh, shut up that large mouth of yours and stop swearing in my house. What's your problem? So I should put a playing card on my forehead to alert everyone that Vicky is no more. Or you expect me to start rolling on the floor to announce it to you? Because you're what, Almighty Queen? Now listen to me very carefully. Let this be the last time you question me about anything, and don't ever open that mouth of yours to lay curses on anyone in this house. Do you hear me? I said. Do you hear me?
Queen couldn't say a word. She looked at her mother in disgust, and walked out of the house to sit on the bench outside, crying, and wondering why her mother was so wicked.
I'll make sure I frustrate your plans. I won't let you hurt this family again. Daddy, I will be in my room. I'm tired and need to rest.
All right, dear, get some rest. I'll check on you much later, okay? She's all I've got now. I don't even know how she's feeling, because I haven't dared to ask her anything, in order not to hurt her. She was so angry with me. When I opted for autopsy on my wife, she got so worked up that I should allow her mother to rest, and not cause her more pain.
And you agreed?
I had to listen to her. I couldn't bear the pains in her eyes. Valerie was in so much pain. I was scared of losing her also.
If I were you, I would have conducted the autopsy without her knowing. That way, you would be sure of what led to your wife's demise.
That's true, but it's all good. All I want right now is her happiness and nothing more.
What are you doing in my mother's kitchen? Who asked you to come in here, and how dare you touch my mother's utensils?
She raged at the top of her voice, attracting her father and his friends, including Queen, who had been watching her mother's movement till she entered the kitchen.
Valerie dear, I wanted to prepare something for you and your father.
And who asked you to do that? Why can't you just be a guest and stay that way? Please leave there now.
She left the kitchen with her head bowed in shame.
This is part of what you get for killing your friend.
She watched her mother walk out of the house. Valerie poured everything Aunt Julian had prepared in a waste bag and left, while her father locked the kitchen, and asked that no one should go there. Queen rushed outside to meet her mother, but she was nowhere to be found. She asked the security man, and was told that her mother had already left.
What kind of a mother do I have? She left without thinking of how I'll get home. Thank God I came with the money I took from her bag the other day, else, I would have been stranded.
Back at her house, Aunt Julian flung her bag the moment she entered her house, and started pacing up and down. Fuming with anger, she would sit down and stand up almost immediately, because of everything that happened, and what Valerie and her father said to her kept playing in her mind.
No, I won't let you go free after embarrassing me like that. Imagine me, Julian. No, Valerie, you have touched me where you were not supposed to, and now, your hands will be cut off.
She stormed into her room, and came out with a small piece of nylon containing tiny black seeds. She looked at it, feeling confident with a wicked smile on her face, as she remembered the instructions given by the herbalist.
I wanted to wait a little longer before I use this, but you pushed me, Valerie. You think you're smart, but I'll show you how small and vulnerable you are. By this time tomorrow, your father will be mine, and I shall use him to get whatever I want, including everything that belonged to your mother. Then, we shall see who has the upper hands.
She wrapped the piece of nylon and kept it in her bag, as she sat down. A few minutes later, Queen got to the house, and met her mother busy with her phone. She got angry and asked her mother why she left without her, but Aunt Julian pretended like she didn't hear her daughter say anything, and continued with what she was doing on her phone.
Mommy, I'm asking you a question and you're ignoring me. You knew I had no money on me, yet you left without me.
So how did you get home? Tell me, how did you get home? Oh, you think I didn't know that you took money from my bag some weeks ago? Look at you, it's as if you don't know the kind of mother you have. Don't dare me, Queen. I saw the look on your face when Valerie and her father were busy embarrassing me. You were smiling instead of defending me. No problem, Queen, I know exactly how to handle you, but rest for now, your time will come.
Madam, please leave now. The boss has warned me not to allow you into this house again. You pushed me to the ground the last time, taking advantage of my age. Fine, no problem. But if you don't leave now, I'll use my strength on you.
You can't provoke me to speak. I won't fall for this, or I'll regret it for the rest of my life.
She gave the security man a sharp warning look, hoping it would discourage him from carrying out his threat. She focused on knocking on the door, hoping Valerie's father would be the one to answer. Julian had already prepared herself before leaving her house. She had placed some tiny seeds under her tongue, knowing that the first person she spoke to would automatically fall under her spell.
Yes, who is it?
She heard Valerie's father's voice from inside and smiled. When he opened the door, he was surprised to see Julian standing there so early.
Yes, Julian. What do you want?
Good morning, Daniel. I hope you slept well last night.
Hi, Julian. Please, come in. What just happened? I don't understand the boss anymore. Please, have a seat. What can I offer you?
Oh, nothing, dear. I just came to apologize to you and Valerie for what happened yesterday.
Oh no, dear. We should be the ones apologizing for being rude to you. We are so sorry, Julian. You were only trying to be nice, and we misunderstood you. Please forgive us.
It's okay, dear. I'm not angry.
If that's the case, please give me a hug as a sign of forgiveness. That way, I'll know for sure that you've forgiven us.
Sure, I'd be glad to hug you.
I'm sure I felt something, or could it be my emotions playing tricks on me? But, it felt so real, like someone or something was in this room. Ah. Daddy.
Valerie, I didn't know you were awake. Come here, baby.
What were you doing with this woman, Daddy?
Val dear, Aunt Julian came to apologize for what happened yesterday. She felt bad about it, and that was why she came this early to see us just to apologize. But I told her it was nothing, and that we also went too far, so I apologized to her on our behalf, and asked her to hug me.
What have you done to my father? What did you do to him that would make him change towards you so fast, to the point that he hugs you this way, knowing who you are?
Come on, Valerie, don't be disrespectful to your mother's friend.
Disrespectful? What about what you just did? Was that not enough disrespect to Mommy? How can you be hugging her friend the way you just did in her home? Do you think it's okay?
Valerie, please calm down. It's not what you think.
It better not be, because it will not end well for you. Please leave, and don't ever come here again. Your friend is dead, and so is your connection to this family. Please leave.
She went to open the door. Aunt Julian was surprised at Valerie's boldness and smiled. She took her handbag from the cushion and turned to look at Valerie's father.
See you later, Daniel.
He watched her walk to the door.
Please leave and never return.
Oh dear, be rest assured you'll see me again and soon.
In your dreams. Daddy, I am very disappointed in you. How can you do that to Mommy? It's not up to 2 weeks since we buried Mom, and you're already doing this. Why?
I'm so sorry, Valerie. I didn't know what came over me, but she only came to apologize, that's all. I'm sorry, it won't happen again.
Daddy, promise me it will never happen again.
I promise Valerie, it will never happen again.
Queen dear, today is a great day for me. We are going to celebrate my accomplishment. Take this money and get us something to eat and drink.
She brought out enough money from her bag. Queen was surprised at the amount of money her mother gave her. She collected the money and stood up.
Mommy, is this not too much for just drinks and something to eat?
You mean it's not enough? Okay, add this to it.
She added more money to the one Queen was holding.
Mummy, you want me to use all this money to buy drinks and shop? Wow, I hope I won't go on hunger strike after this.
Don't worry, starting from today, you'll never go hungry or lack anything. In fact, you'll start having monthly allowances even more than the money you're holding right now.
Wow, that would be great. It's like you've got a job in a very big company that pays well, or you hit the jackpot.
Let's just say, I hit the jackpot this time, and it's a big one. What does she mean by knowing who I am? Does it mean? Nah, it can't be. There's no way anyone could find out. She's just saying things. I'll have to call Daniel later today. I shouldn't delay, since I've started already.
Come to think of it, Aunt Julian was the one with Mommy when Daddy and I got back home that day. And Mommy had no other friends that were close to her, she only had her customers, and nothing more than that. I believe there's something more to this. I have to talk to Nestor about this.
Valerie, where are you?
Where are you going, Daddy? I thought you weren't going anywhere today.
Oh dear, change of plans. Something came up, and I had to see my friend for a business deal.
Oh, I see. Can I come with you? I'll be bored staying alone here. I promise to be a good girl.
No Valerie, you can't come with me. This one is very crucial, and I need to concentrate. Don't worry, I'll take you along next time.
He walked out before Valerie could say anything else. Valerie knew instantly, without a doubt, that her father was lying to her, and she became even more worried.
I hope it's not what I'm thinking. Let it not be that he's going to see Aunt Julian. God, please, it shouldn't be what I'm thinking.
My Julian, I can't wait to see you.
Hello.
Hello Julian, I'm on my way to the lounge. Can't wait to see your beautiful face again.
Valerie stood at the window and watched her father making a call to someone, and smiling like a young boy who's in love for the first time.
I knew you were lying, Dad, and I know why. I need to see Nestor immediately. He's in the best position to help me.
Back at Aunt Julian's house, she was busy preparing to go out, and was applying the final touches to her makeup, while Queen watched. Queen was curious to know where her mother was going, and who she was preparing to go and see. She watched as her mother applied her makeup so beautifully, and wondered if her mother was going to see the Senate president, and planned to entice him with her makeup.
Mommy, this person you're going out to see must be very important. See the way you're trying to look perfect, like he's the Senate president. Hope you'll tell him that you have a daughter, so that he will know on time before anything else.
If not that my eyes were opened when I gave birth to you, I would have said you were not my child. What kind of a daughter are you? Nothing good ever comes out of your mouth. The only thing you know how to do is eat. If not that you're my child, I know what I would have done to you. Just be grateful and be very careful not to force my hand, else,
Sorry, Mommy, I was only trying to tease you. I didn't know you would take it the wrong way.
Keep your sorry and teasing to yourself because I don't need it. And let this be the last time I'll ever warn you again.
She took her purse. She went to stand in front of the full mirror in the room and glanced at her reflection. She was indeed looking very beautiful and charming, which she confirmed herself.
This would do for now. Come here, my baby.
She opened her hands for a hug. Queen was a bit skeptical about hugging her mother, because it hardly happened, and she couldn't even remember the last time she did.
I know you're angry with the way I spoke to you earlier, and I'm sorry about that. Come and hug Mommy dear, I promise to get your favorite chocolate for you.
Mommy, please come back home on time. I don't want to be alone for a long time.
Hey dear, you're 17 years old. Even if you look like you're 20, you're still my baby, okay? And I'll come back soon. Just promise to be a good girl, alright?
Yes, Mommy, have fun.
Valerie, sorry I kept you waiting for so long. I had to clean up before I came out, because I went for training, and just came back not too long before you came.
It's okay, I understand. Nestor, I need to discuss something with you. It's very important.
Come, let's sit outside.
They sat down on a bench, and he listened to everything she had to say.
There could be more to it, but we need to be sure of our suspicions before concluding.
What do you suggest we do, Nestor?
We will have to trail your father to know exactly where he goes to, and who he meets.
That's a great idea, Nestor. I knew I could count on you for anything.
Aunt Julian got to the lounge, and sighted Valerie's father sitting and waiting anxiously, as he kept looking at his wristwatch. She smiled beautifully, and walked in majestically, swaying her hips to entice him more, and attracting others that were there. Valerie's father stood up the moment he saw her.
Hey dear.
Hey.
You look great and very beautiful.
He called the waiter and ordered a bottle of wine. After they had drank from their glasses, Aunt Julian held Valerie's father's hands on the table, while staring at him blushing.
You know, I've always liked you, but I couldn't come out with it, because you were married to my friend.
You should have said something. That way, I would have looked for a way to be with you.
I couldn't. I didn't want to hurt my friend, but now that she's no more, I believe we can be together, but that's if you want it.
Oh Julian, who wouldn't want to be with a beautiful lady like you? I'm so glad that I'm able to be with you right now, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
It's alright, Daniel, the ball is in your court, play it the way you want, but just make sure you don't take long, or else, someone else might take over.
Don't worry about that. In fact, I'll have to talk to Valerie about it, so that she can prepare herself for your arrival.
Oh really? So soon? I hope she agrees and accepts me, because I know that she doesn't like me. And I don't know what I ever did to her. And I hope she'll also accept my daughter, because I can't go anywhere without her.
You don't have to bother yourself about that. Valerie will have no choice but to accept you and your daughter. After all, you're going to be her stepmom soon,
he said, smiling brightly and planting a kiss on her hand. Aunt Julian was stunned. She didn't expect it to be so quick. She thought maybe it would take a few months for it to have such strong effects on him. She was wowed at the charm, and made a promise in her heart to pay the herbalist handsomely for a job well done.
Wow dear, so soon. Don't you think it's too early, and people would talk, especially your friends and family?
Don't stress about that, dear. I'll handle it, and it's my life and my happiness that matters, and nothing more.
This is exactly what I wanted, having you under my control, and I'll make sure I achieve everything I ever wanted from you, including your wife's business and everything she owned.
Meanwhile, Queen had been searching her mother's bags, hoping to get a clue to confirm her suspicions, because earlier, she heard her mother's conversation on the phone, where she mentioned something like a charm that was in her bag. She wanted to find it so that she could throw it away, not knowing that the charm had been put to use.
Where did she keep it? I've searched everywhere for it, but still couldn't find it. Where did this woman hide it, for goodness sake?
She looked up all of a sudden, and saw a small purse on top of the wardrobe. She stretched and took it, hoping it contained what she was looking for.
What's this?
She brought out something that looked like a white powder from the purse. She smelled it, but it was odorless. She looked inside the purse again and brought out a black nylon with something tied in it. She quickly unwrapped it, making sure she didn't tear it, and brought out something black that was in a small white nylon.
What is this again? Could this be mustard seed, or something else I don't know?
She dropped it on top of the chair, where she kept the first one she brought out. She searched the bag, hoping to get more, but it was empty. She dropped it on the chair and took the 2 items she found.
God, I know that these things I'm holding are dangerous because they belong to my mother, but whatever it is meant for, please don't let it work. I know that she had done so many wrongs and I wouldn't want her to hurt anyone again, especially Aunt Vicky's husband and daughter, so please let her plans fail, and frustrate her, just as she did to my late father and her late sister. And please, also help me neutralize these charms, so that it will not work whenever she wants to use them on anyone, including me. Amen.
She put everything back in the purse, and dropped it where she took it from. She went into the kitchen and washed her hands, wonder what kind of mother she had.
Nestor, I need to get going before my father comes back. I didn't inform him I was going out, and I wouldn't want him to find out that I did.
Alright, I'll find time to come visit.
You don't have to. We will see more and talk better when school resumes next week.
Okay.
Aunt Julian got back home from the date with Valerie's father, feeling all loved up and happy. She couldn't hide her joy, as she held her daughter too tight and turned around in a circle while laughing. Queen was surprised, because her mother hardly reacted to things, no matter how pleasing it was, but for the first time, she saw genuine happiness in her mother's eyes. She couldn't help but laugh along, and also feel happy for her mother.
Mommy, I can't remember the last time I saw you in this mood. Whatever's making you so happy to the extent that you reacted this way, must be something great and mighty. Because honestly Mommy, you're difficult to please.
Oh dear, you won't understand. I'm so happy because what I wanted has finally become mine, and soon, we will be in a better position. You will start attending any school of your choice. In fact, as I speak to you right now, our status has changed.
Mommy, what are you talking about? You mean I'll start school soon? Come on Mommy, answer me. You mean I'll be starting school soon?
Yes my sweet daughter, soon you'll start going to school, but not from this house, though. You're going to have a stepfather soon.
Oh my, that lady is something else entirely. How come I didn't notice her all these years? I'm not letting her go. I know she's going to be an obstacle, but I'll put her in her place. Julian must move in with us next week. And nothing, not even her late mother, can stop me. Welcome, sir. Is the boss all right? He has been acting strangely since the troublesome woman visited this house.
Welcome home, Daddy. I was so bored and missed you while you were away. How was the meeting?
The meeting went well, Valerie.
You must be hungry. I made some delicious jollof rice. Please come to the dining, so we can eat together. I'm starving.
This is exactly how your mother used to serve my meals, so thoughtfully.
I know, Daddy. I know you miss her a lot. I'll do my best to take care of you just the way she would have.
Valerie. I need to tell you something. It might sound awkward, but it is what it is.
All right, Daddy, what is it? Daddy, are you okay? You look restless and sweaty all of a sudden. Is everything all right?
I'm fine, Valerie. It's just that what I'm about to say might seem wrong, but it's what I want, and I've already made up my mind.
Daddy, you're worrying me. What is it you want to say that has you this nervous?
I'm getting acquainted with Julian. I plan to marry her, and she'll be moving in next week with her daughter.
Repeat what you said.
I know how you feel, but you need to accept this. I've made up my mind.
Never. It will never happen. I don't care what you think you want. That woman will not set foot in this house. Daddy, you can't do that. That's Aunt Julian we are talking about. The same person we never liked. You disliked her even more than I do, so what are you now saying? Or is this a joke? Answer me, Daddy, or are you talking about another Julian?
Valerie, please calm down. There's no need for all this drama. Julian is a very lovely lady. You love her once you get to know her better, and I believe she'll take very good care of you just like your mom did.
Stop it. Please stop it, Dad. Don't ever compare my mother to that thief again. What is wrong with you, Daddy? What has she done to you that made you compare her to Mommy? Oh my God, I can't believe this.
Valerie, please calm down. I'm not trying to compare her to your mother. I'm only saying that she could help take care of us. Moreover, I need a companion, someone who I can share my pains with. Valerie, I know it's difficult for you to accept, but please try to live with it, because my mind is already made up.
What? I should live with it and your mind is already made up? Dad, what's the rush, and why her? It's just a few weeks since we buried Mom, and you're already talking about bringing her best friend to the house. As what? Your second wife? How ridiculous.
Her father left the dining and walked to the parlor to sit, and Valerie followed him, determined to change his mind.
Daddy, please, think about it. What would people say when they found out that you got married to your late wife's best friend a few weeks after she was buried?
I don't care about what family or people will say, don't you get it? Nobody can stop me from marrying Julian, and that's final.
He stormed out of the parlor to his room. Valerie stood speechless, with her mouth half open, as she watched her father walk into his room and slam the door behind him. She fell on her knees and wept bitterly like a broken-hearted girl. She couldn't help as the thoughts of her late mother kept crawling back into her mind, instigating the pains she was feeling, making it so intense that she couldn't breathe properly. She fell flat on the floor in bitter tears, as she tried to question God, but gave up, because she felt like she had been abandoned by God. The thoughts of her mother kept running in her mind, and she couldn't hold it in anymore but scream out loud, "Mommy." Her father heard her scream, but remained in his room not wanting to come out, while the security man rushed in from outside, and saw Valerie lying on the floor weak, and in tears. He rushed to her and helped raise her from the floor. He made her sit down on the cushion, and offered to get water from the dining. He rushed to the dining table, brought a glass of water, and asked her to drink. Valerie refused to drink, and kept crying in silence. The security man stood wondering what was wrong with Valerie, and was visibly confused, because he had never seen Valerie in such a condition before.
Young madam, what happened? Why are you crying like this?
He looked around, then called out for Valerie's father, who sluggishly emerged from his room, already dressed in his pajamas and ready for bed.
What's going on here, sir? I heard her scream while I was outside. I thought something bad had happened, so I rushed in. When I got here, I found her on the floor looking weak, so I carried her to the chair and came to call you.
Valerie's father looked at her, shook his head, and dismissed the security man, asking him to return to his post. Standing with his hands in his pockets, he simply observed Valerie. Once the security man left, he slowly approached his daughter. Pulling one hand out of his pocket, he touched her forehead to check if she had a fever. Then he returned his hand to his pocket, shaking his head and smirking.
Stop this drama, Valerie. It won't change my decision. For goodness sake, stop acting like the world is ending, just because Julian is replacing your mother. If you don't like her, that's your business, but keep it to yourself. Don't bring it to me or Julian. And prepare to welcome her and her daughter into this family this weekend or next week.
He said angrily before walking back to his room, muttering under his breath. Valerie couldn't respond, she simply sat there, tears streaming down her face. She closed her eyes, wishing it was all a bad dream. But when she opened them, the harsh reality hit her again. Hugging her knees to her chest, she rested her head on them and cried in pain. A few days later, Valerie lay in her room, lost in thoughts of her late mother, and how peaceful and happy their family had been before Aunt Julian came into the picture. She sighed deeply, rolling over to face the window. She wished her mother had never left, because now she felt completely alone. Her father's attention was solely on Aunt Julian, who seemed to have taken over his heart and thoughts. There wasn't a day he didn't mention her name. Feeling frustrated, Valerie confided in Nestor about her feelings, and her father's changed behavior. Nestor could only advise her to ignore everything, focus on her studies, and continue managing her late mother's business, which she had been doing for a few days. While she was still lying on her bed, she heard a loud knock on the door, and her father rushing to answer it.
Hi, Daniel.
Welcome to your new home, dear. I'm so glad you're finally here. Please come in, dear. Sweetheart, please come, let me show you around. Especially the bedroom.
Good afternoon, sir. Please, is there a place I can keep my bag outside?
No space for you to keep your bag outside. Ask the boss when he comes. Maybe he will be able to find where you will keep your bag.
What kind of human is my mom? I can't believe she threatened me when I refused to follow her here, because I told her what she was doing was wrong. How does she feel doing this to her late friend and family? I hope Valerie doesn't see me as an accomplice.
All this while, Valerie was in her room peeping through the door, and watching everything. She was a bit surprised to hear what Queen said, and was a bit relieved that someone had the same thought as her. She shut her door and decided to take her bath to go to the store, which had become her heaven, and a place where she didn't think about anything else but herself, her studies, and business. She finished preparing on time, and stepped out of her room holding a bag. She walked to the parlor and saw Queen still standing. She walked past her like she wasn't there, and stepped out of the house. Queen felt like she was invisible because of how Valerie walked past her, like she was just another piece of irrelevant furniture.
I don't blame you, Valerie. I would have done even worse.
Oh my goodness, baby, we left my daughter in the parlor.
I hope she doesn't get angry with me for leaving her there, and taking care of her mother.
Nah, she wouldn't. She's a sweet girl, although, just like your daughter, she isn't in support of this, but I don't care. All I want right now is to be with you always. Let's go and show her to her room. I believe she's tired and already hungry, just like I am.
Yeah, I'm also famished. I've not been able to eat properly since yesterday because of your arrival. The joy was too much for me to sit in one place. Queen, so sorry we left you here. I was showing your mother around the house and forgot you were here. Please come this way and let me take you to your room.
I never wished to be here either.
Queen.
Queen looked at her mother, hissed, and turned the other way. Aunt Julian apologized to Valerie's father, who wasn't bothered about Queen's attitude towards him. His only focus and concern was Aunt Julian and nothing more.
Let's go, please. This will be your room from now on, and this is also your home. Please feel free to do whatever you want, because we are a family now.
Please excuse us, dear. I need to have a little chat with her, to make her feel at home.
Okay, darling.
Now you listen to me, Queen. Let that be the last time you'll ever talk back at Daniel. I don't want to ever see or hear it, or else, you'll have yourself to blame.
I don't want to be here. I'd rather be on the street, than be under the same roof with you and your friend's husband. This is wrong, Mommy. It doesn't feel right, and there's no way I will be comfortable with it.
That's your business and not mine. This is my life and my choice. I would do whatever I want. And no one can stop me. That's including you.
I know that I can't stop you, Mommy. But remember, that this house was your best friend's home before she died. Don't think that she would rest when her family, especially her only child, is in constant pain and sorrow. She would react and fight whoever or whatever is the cause of her child's tears.
How dare you talk to me in that manner? Look at this overgrown chicken. Oh, so you think you've grown so big and you can talk to me anyhow you want, right? Don't worry, I know what to do to you.
Aunt Tracy, please, I need you to take stock of all the things that we need, especially the ones that are constantly on demand, so that I can place orders for them to be delivered next week.
She handed her a book and a pen. Tracy collected the materials and was about to do as she was told. She paused to look at Valerie and knew that something wasn't right. Although she was older than Valerie, and respected her as the new owner of the store, she couldn't help but notice that all wasn't well with her. She had the urge to ask, because apart from being a worker at the store, she was also a friend to Valerie. She went back to Valerie, who was already busy writing down something in a book. She cleared her throat to get her attention, and Valerie looked up at her.
Valerie, I wanted to ask you something. I don't know if I'm free to do that.
Sure, go ahead, Aunt Tracy, and stop being formal with me.
Valerie, I've been watching you since morning, and I've noticed that something is eating you up. Can you share it with me? Maybe I can be of help.
Is it that obvious?
Yes, it is. Sonia also noticed it and came to ask me if you were all right. Valerie, I know you're in pain, and we all are, although it may hit differently. What I'm seeing is more than what it is. Please tell me what it is, maybe I can help. It's okay, dear, stop crying, everything is going to be fine. What's the matter, Valerie? Did anything happen at home?
Aunt Tracy, you wouldn't believe it if I told you.
Please tell me, what happened?
Do you remember Aunt Julian, my mother's friend?
Yes.
Well, she now lives in our house as my father's wife, and she came with her daughter.
What? That's not possible, it can't be. How come? That thief? That good-for-nothing woman? Are you sure of what you're saying?
Yes, I left them in the house and came here. I couldn't stand it. The sight of Aunt Julian with my father kills me slowly. I don't know if I can survive it for long.
Don't worry, dear, let's just pray about it. I believe it's not ordinary. God will intervene, and everything will be fine.
I hope so, because I've already lost all hope in God. I feel He doesn't care about me.
Don't say that, Valerie. I believe he's seeing everything, and is just waiting for the perfect time to act.
And when will that time come? Is it after I've lost everything and the desire to live?
No, Val, he will manifest at the right time, so for now, we just have to pray, believe, and trust in God for his protection, because, just as Aunt Tracy said, I also do not think it's ordinary.
Nestor, how long have you been there?
Long enough to hear everything. Aunt Sonia told me you were having a conversation with Aunt Tracy when I asked of you, and asked me to sit over there.
I'm glad you're here, Nestor, and thanks for always checking up on me.
That's more like it. You should keep smiling this way and confuse them with it. Don't let them know you're in pain, else, they'll keep doing things to hurt your feelings, and that's the only thing Aunt Julian wants. Let me leave you two and do what I've been asked to do. Thank you for always being there for her. I can see now that you're the only one that can make her happy. Thank you, Nestor.
You're welcome, and thank you too for being a big sister to her.
What should I offer you?
Nothing really, I'm okay. I just had this feeling that you were not in a very good mood. That's why I came. When were you planning on telling me that that lady has started staying in your house?
I was going to tell you later today after I am done from here, but I wanted to accept my reality before I do so.
No, Valerie, this is not your reality, and I won't let you accept that. We will look for a way out of this, because everything that's happening doesn't look ordinary to me.
Then what do we do, Nestor? I'm so confused and scared right now.
We will pray and act smart. Prayers without work won't do anything, so we have to look for a way somehow to free your dad from that woman.
Thank you, Nestor. You've been my strength ever since I lost my mom. Thanks for always shining the light in my darkness.
A few hours later, after Nestor had gone, Valerie got a call from her father through her mother's phone, to return home earlier, that he wanted to discuss something with her. She was a bit skeptical about it, and wondered what her father wanted to discuss with her, because he had practically ignored her for some days after they argued about his new wife.
I hope it's not what I'm thinking, because I can't accept that woman no matter what.
Valerie, what is wrong with you? Why didn't you greet Julian?
No, I didn't, and I don't think I would ever see anybody in this house apart from you.
Valerie replied and walked away as if she didn't notice the anger in her father's voice. Her father got angry and stood up immediately like he wanted to pounce on her, but Aunt Julian held his hand and asked him to relax.
Don't stress yourself, dear. She'll come around soon, all right?
I don't know what is wrong with this girl. She's just so full of herself, and it's beginning to annoy me.
It's all right. She's just a child and doesn't understand how life works. Like I said, she'll come around soon.
I have been waiting for her to return since she went out, and now that she's back, I have to tell her all that I know. But what if she doesn't believe me? How do I prove myself? I just have to do this. God, please help me. Yes, what do you want? And why are you relaxing on my door? Hi, Valerie. Can I see you for a few minutes? Sit down. Thank you. I thought you wanted to see me, and I believe it's because you have something to say to me, so what is it? Oh, yes, I do have something to say to you. First of all, I want to say that I'm sorry for disturbing you, but I felt it's important I come to you now that my mom isn't watching me. Valerie, honestly speaking, I am not in support of what is happening. I was totally against it when I found out, but my mom forced me to come with her. I wanted to stay back and not be a part of this, but she threatened me that she would hurt me if I don't do as she said. I know that you think I'm part of her plots, because I'm her daughter, but no. I can never be a part of evil. I came here to clear my conscience and to let you know that I'm in support of whatever you do, and let God bear me witness today that I do not support evil. I know. You know. What do you mean by you know? I knew you were not in support of your mother, and please don't ask me how I got to know. But tell me, why is your mother doing this? What does she want? Greed. My mother is greedy, that is why. This was the exact question I asked her. All I know is that she can do anything to get what she wants, and I mean anything. And please Valerie, don't eat or drink anything that comes from her, she might harm you. Why is that? Will she poison me? She can do worse, so I would advise you to be very careful around her and pray always, especially for your father. Why did you ask me to pray for my father? It seems you do not see things. Can't you see that your father is acting out of his character? Do you think his behavior towards you is normal? Oh Valerie, wake up. What is happening to your father isn't ordinary. You need to be strong both physically and spiritually to deal with this, else, you'll lose everything your mother left for you, including your father. Wait, please, how do I go about it? I don't even know where to start. Don't worry, we will work together. And evil can never prevail.
She walked out of Valerie's room feeling fulfilled. Valerie stood at the center of her room, her head spinning with confusion and fear. She looked up and placed her hands on her head as a tear escaped her eye.
Mommy, are you seeing what I'm going through? Why did you leave me alone, and what do you expect me to do now that Daddy has been trapped by your friend? Mommy, you'd better not be resting. Stand up and save your home. Don't allow your friend to ruin Daddy and me. Don't let her enjoy what she did not so. Trouble her as she has destroyed your peaceful and happy home. Mommy, don't rest until you do this for me. Please don't rest, Mommy, please. Who's there?
It's me. I thought I told you that I have something to discuss with you.
I'm coming, let me freshen up.
I'll be in the sitting room waiting for you. You had better be there in the next 2 minutes.
Valerie could feel disdain in her father's voice. She wondered what Aunt Julian had done to him to make him start treating her in such a manner, in such a short period.
God, please, I need your help. I don't know how you'll do it, but please, help me out of this mess I'm in, and bring my father back to his senses.
Hi Valerie, how was business today?
You wanted to see me, Daddy, I'm here.
School will be resuming next week, and I was wondering how you would be able to cope with your studies and the business, so I said since Julian is here, she can take care of the business, while you concentrate on your education, because you can't combine the two. You're too small for that.
Yes Valerie, I can help take care of the store, while you concentrate on your studies. That way, you wouldn't be stressing yourself too much.
Valerie was shocked at her father's words. She kept looking at him in disbelief, as she couldn't fathom what he meant by what he said. She stood up and started walking away, when she heard her father yell her name.
Valerie, stop there. Didn't you hear what I just said?
Daddy, you're funny, that was the funniest thing you have ever said to me, you cracked me up this time.
And why are you laughing, huh? What's so funny that's making you laugh so hard? Do we look like clowns to you? Answer me.
You want me to hand over my mother's business to this woman? This same woman whom I caught stealing in the store. This same woman who came in and destroyed our home. This same woman who was responsible for what happened to my mother. Never. It would be better for you if you could get that thought out of your head, because I will never let her take over my mother's business, or any of her property aside from you, never. And as for you, you think you can manipulate my father to get whatever you want, right? Well, not this time, and not my mother's property. You can keep him for as long as you want. But don't cross the line, don't try it, else you'll hear from your best friend.
It looks so real. Am I dreaming?
What are you whispering to yourself? So you're just going to stand there and watch your daughter talk to me in such a disrespectful manner? Darling, did you hear what your daughter said to me? She accused me of being a bad person. Baby, say something.
Don't worry about that, she's just being a child. I'll make sure she gives you the keys to the store. Just relax and watch how I handle it.
Aunt Julian left him and went to the room. She sat on the bed and thought for a while, and she stood up again, feeling restless as what Valerie said kept playing in her mind. She stood at a spot and looked around the room. Her gaze fell on Vicky's picture still hanging on the wall. She walked to where it was, and was about to remove it, when Daniel walked in. To her dismay, he asked her not to touch it, and even warned her never to remove it from where it was. Aunt Julian was taken aback at his reaction. She quickly calmed down and went to him.
Commandeer, I wasn't going to remove it, I was just admiring the portrait, that's all. Come, let me cheer you up. I know you're not happy right now because of Valerie's attitude, but not to worry, I'll talk to her later, and make her understand why you made such decision. I have to do something fast before this girl ruins my plans.
She looked at Daniel, who was snoring as he slept. She gently opened the door and quietly left the room. Valerie had just finished bathing and came out of the bathroom with her towel wrapped around her chest. She walked to her wardrobe to put on her nightwear, because it was already bedtime for her. She was tired and hungry and thought of getting something to eat from the kitchen, when she heard a knock on her door.
Who's there? Please hold on.
She quickly put on her nightwear before the door suddenly opened, and Aunt Julian walked in, smiling mischievously.
What are you doing here? Please get out of my room.
Aunt Julian ignored her, and walked towards her reading table. She picked up the pen from the table and dropped it. She looked again and saw a picture of Valerie and her mother on the table. She picked it up and smiled while she touched it.
Drop it down, and don't touch anything in my room.
She couldn't do anything, because she was intimidated by Aunt Julian's boldness.
Valerie, I'm here for the keys to the store. Give it to me gently while I'm still very calm, or else, you will regret not listening to me.
That would be over my dead body. I will never give it to you.
Then so be it.
She pretended like she was leaving, only to push Valerie to the floor. Valerie hit the back of her head so hard, as she fell on the floor, which immediately sent her into unconsciousness. Aunt Julian became frightened when she noticed that Valerie wasn't moving. She quickly rushed out of the room, leaving the door a bit open, as she went into the kitchen, pretending to be busy.
I hope you never wake up and remain that way forever. Hi, I was about to come get you, sleepyhead.
I couldn't wait any longer. The aroma is something else, and I can't wait to start eating. Where's Queen and Valerie? Aren't they joining us for dinner? This is delicious, I like it.
I don't know if they would want to eat, Since they're both not happy with us.
What do you mean by that? Nobody sleeps in this house on an empty stomach. Go get the girls.
Is that a rule? What if they don't want to eat?
Yes, that is the rule in this house. Nobody goes to bed hungry, and that includes the security man. Now go and call Valerie and Queen to come to the dining table.
Queen, stand up and come to the dining. Dinner is ready.
I'm not hungry.
I don't care if you are hungry or not. Just come out there and sit on the dining and watch the rest of us eat, if that's what you want. Now stand up from that bed before I descend on you.
Queen immediately stood up, not wanting her mother to hit her again. Queen followed her mother to the dining and met Valerie's father waiting for them. He looked at Queen with a bright smile, but didn't say anything. He waited to see if Valerie would come out, but she didn't. He looked at Aunt Julian and raised his eyebrows as a way of asking of Valerie.
She refused to come out. I don't know what else to do.
Not in this house. She knows the rules, and she also knows how serious I am about it.
He stood up and left the dining to Valerie's room.
Why did you lie to him when you knew that you didn't even mention her name? Could it be that you can't face her, or you're scared she might discover your plans? That's why you don't want her around.
Aunt Julian ignored her daughter's taunts, as she was already worried that Valerie's father would soon discover that Valerie was unconscious, and was thinking of how to defend herself, in case she regained consciousness, and accused her of being responsible. Valerie. They heard Valerie's father scream from Valerie's room and rushed there. Queen ran in and saw Valerie's father holding Valerie on the floor, with blood stains on his body. She looked at Valerie's body and found no injury. She then placed her hand on the back of Valerie's head, and saw that her hand had been stained with blood.
Sir, we need to take her to the hospital now.
Queen shouted, bringing Valerie's father back to his senses. Quickly, Valerie's father stood up, carrying Valerie in his arms and rushed out of the house to his car. Queen opened the back door, and he kept Valerie on the seat, while Queen sat and held her tight. The security man was shocked to see Valerie in such condition, and quickly opened the gate, and Valerie's father drove out with speed. All the while, Aunt Julian stood at the door watching everything, and went back to the dining immediately after they drove out.
This will be a lesson to you, but that's if you survive it.
She drank some water. She was still sitting in the dining, when the idea to look for the store keys came to her mind, and she quickly went to Valerie's room, avoiding the blood stains on the floor the moment she entered, and started looking everywhere for the keys. She searched the wardrobe, and everywhere in the room, but still could not find the keys.
Where could she have kept it?
She looked around one more time and gave up the search. She left the room murmuring and went back to close the dining.
Nurse, check her vitals, and be fast about it. Okay. What happened to her?
I don't know. I found her unconscious on the floor in her room.
Doctor, I think she has sustained an injury at the back of her head.
The doctor quickly examined Valerie and saw that truly she had sustained an injury.
Nurse, take her to the X-ray room immediately.
An X-ray was done on Valerie, and she was taken back to her ward. The doctor asked to see Valerie's father in his office, and left the ward.
Queen, please stay here with Valerie while I see the doctor in his office. I'll be right back.
Mr. Daniel, I'd like to ask you some questions, before I explain our findings to you.
Okay.
Sir, who was with Valerie when she fell, or did someone push her down?
As I said earlier, I met her unconscious on the floor in her room, and I'm not sure if anyone was there when she fell, else they would have alerted me on time. Doctor, what's the problem and why did you ask?
Well, sir, I'm sorry to say this, but your daughter has lost her sight due to the fall. She might not be able to see again.
What? What do you mean, doctor? What do you mean by my daughter has lost her sight? I don't understand. Please tell me I didn't hear you correctly.
Well, I'm sorry, that's what it says here.
Valerie's father couldn't help but cry bitterly at the doctor's office, unable to go back to Valerie's ward. The doctor tried his best to console Valerie's father as he cried. He stood up from his seat and went to where Valerie's father was seated, and placed a hand on his back.
I know it's difficult for you to accept this reality, but you just have to be strong, especially for your daughter. She needs you now more than ever.
How do I tell her that she has lost her sight? Oh God, my Valerie, my daughter, blind. It can't be. Doctor, isn't there any chance she can regain her sight? There must be hope somewhere. Please tell me.
I'm so sorry, sir, but there's nothing we can do. Please wipe your tears and man up, be the father your daughter needs, and take good care of her. Who knows, a miracle might happen.
Valerie's father couldn't do or say anything, but walk out of the doctor's office with his hopes dashed.
Oh Valerie, I'm so sorry you're going through such pain and suffering at this age, all because of my mother's selfishness. It pains me that I'm her daughter. I wish my father was still alive. I would have run back to him, but my mother ended his life by frustrating him, and making him run into depression. My mother is a very terrible woman. She doesn't know that I knew what she did to her only sister. And I'm also very sure she's responsible for your mother's death.
Valerie held her hand immediately after she said that. Queen was so shocked and happy at the same time. She didn't know how to express her happiness. She held Valerie by the hand and stood up smiling.
Thank God you're awake, Valerie. You got us so worried. How are you feeling now? Where am I, and why is everywhere so dark? We are at the hospital. Your father and I brought you here when he found you unconscious in your room. But why are my eyes tied? Please help me remove it. Please Valerie, don't remove it until the doctor comes. Just be patient for a little bit longer, okay? I believe he will soon be here with your father. My head hurts a lot. It feels like someone is hitting something inside it. Sorry Valerie, I believe you'll be fine. I'm so happy you're awake already.
Valerie smiled and went silent for some seconds before she spoke.
Queen, I heard what you said. I've been awake for some minutes and kept quiet while you were talking, but I couldn't hold back when I heard you say that your mother was responsible for my mom's death. Please talk to me. How did you know that? Valerie, Queen, please talk to me. Tell me the truth. I need to know, please. Valerie, I'm so sorry you had to find out this way. Yes, it's true. My mother is responsible for what happened to your mom, and I also believe that whatever is happening between you and your father is her doing. She's behind it, and I'm so sorry about that. Please Valerie, you shouldn't cry in such a condition. You just woke up from being unconscious for hours. Please don't do this to yourself. I tried to warn my mom, but she wouldn't listen, because she trusted your mother. She also refused to listen to my dad, who tried to warn her against her friend, but my mom stood her ground. She defended your mother, and even had good plans for her. And what was her reward? A stab in the back that took her life. Oh, Mommy, if only you had listened to Daddy and me, maybe you would still be here with us. I'm so sorry Valerie, I'm so very sorry. Your mother did this to me. She came to my room and asked me to hand over the keys to the store to her, and I refused, but before I knew what was happening, she dragged my hair and pulled me down with force. That was all I remember. She succeeded in removing my mom from her way, and now, she wants me out too. Never, it can't work. She has failed now, and she will keep failing. Amen. Whoever planted evil, shall reap evil.
Soon, her father walked into the ward, and was delighted to see his daughter awake. He quickly rushed to her side and held her hand.
Valerie, thank God you're awake. How are you feeling?
Maybe he's just sad about what happened to his daughter. Daddy, is the doctor here with you? Please ask him to remove this thing around my eyes. It's too dark for me. Daddy, if the doctor is not here, please go and get him to remove this thing. It's so uncomfortable for me.
All right, let me quickly get the doctor.
A minute later, her father walked in with the doctor and stood beside Valerie, hoping to be able to console her when she gets to find out the truth.
Hi Valerie, how are you feeling?
I'm alright, doctor, just a little pain in my head, but I'm so uncomfortable with this thing wrapped around my eyes. Can you please remove it?
Sure, please hold on while I remove it.
He started unwrapping the band. After he had finished unwrapping it, Valerie blinked her eyes severally but couldn't see anything. Her father was already shedding tears, which made Queen so worried, wondering what was happening.
Doctor, are you done removing it?
Valerie, the thing is that the fall you had affected your sight, which means that.
Yes, which means what, doctor?
Valerie, I'm so sorry to say this, but you have lost your sight due to the fall.
The words echoed in Valerie's ears severally, as she remained still on the bed. Queen couldn't believe what she heard, and held the doctor to explain better with tears in her eyes. While Valerie's father held Valerie close, trying to hold back his emotions. Valerie was inconsolable, as she continued crying and lamenting, blaming her mother for everything that was happening to her.
Don't say that, Valerie. Don't blame your mom for anything. I believe you slipped and fell by mistake. Nobody did this to you.
Valerie became furious and pushed her father from her side.
What did you just say? The woman you brought to the house did this to me. She was the one that dragged me to the floor. She did this to me.
Stop it, Valerie. I know you don't like Julian, but that's not enough reason for you to accuse her of doing this. What happened to you was an accident, and could happen to anyone.
This is no accident, Daddy. She came to my room asking me to give her the keys to the store, and when I refused, she dragged me by my hair to the ground, and that was how I lost consciousness. I'm not lying, Daddy. She did this to me.
Her father stood with his mouth a bit open in disbelief, and eyes wide open, looking dumbstruck and shocked at what his daughter said.
Sir, it is true. What Valerie said is the truth. My mother did this to her and many other things. My mother is responsible for everything happening in your home.
Valerie's father couldn't believe what he was hearing. He closed his ears with both hands and shouted for them to stop talking.
How can you even say that about your mom? I know the both of you doesn't like the idea of your mother and I being together, but this is out of line. Julian will never do such thing. She's too good and nice to hurt anyone.
Daddy, have I ever lied to you before? Why can't you believe me now? I will never lie to you or anyone for any reason.
I know, dear. It's just that I find myself doubting you, and the next minute, I'm hating myself for not believing you. Honestly, I don't know what's wrong with me.
The both of you share a very strong bond, and it seems to be very effective whenever you're close to each other. That's why you believe her, even when you're still under my mother's charms. How do you mean? A few seconds ago, your father was defending my mom, saying it's because we don't approve of their relationship, but the moment he touched you after you called out to him, he became the caring father he is to you.
Valerie and her father were amazed at what Queen said, and unconsciously held their hands tightly.
So I'll suggest something. Please, Queen, what do you suggest? I've already lost my sight. I wouldn't want to lose my dad. Please help us.
Valerie pleaded, holding her father's hands to her face with tears dropping from her eyes. Her father was so hurt to see Valerie in so much pain and suffering, that he couldn't believe he allowed himself to be used.
I'll make sure Julian pays for doing this to you, I promise.
I wish it's something you can do, but, right now, you won't be able to do anything, because you're still under her spell. Believe me, sir, you'll stop caring the moment we get home, and you're with my mom.
But how do you know all this?
I overheard my mother's conversation, and saw some few things which proved everything I'm saying to you right now. I know she's my mom, but believe me, it's not something I'm proud to say. This is what we will do, if we want to defeat my mother, and free you from her grip.
Queen explained everything to Valerie and her father.
It's a very brilliant idea. Thank you so much, Queen. I'm grateful for your help and support, and for always standing for the truth.
We are grateful, Queen, and I pray it works just as we have planned. And please, always find a way to draw me close to my daughter, so that I can get information about how everything is going.
The next day, Valerie was discharged from the hospital, and was brought home by her father and Queen, who stayed with her all through. Aunt Julian rushed out to welcome them, not knowing the effects of what she had done to Valerie.
Welcome honey, I've been waiting for your return since yesterday. How's Valerie doing, and where's Queen?
She asked but got no response. Valerie's father sat in the car with his hands on the wheel, while his head rested on them. He looked so sober, and his eyes were swollen from crying. He raised his head and looked at Aunt Julian, who was still there expecting a reply from him. He wanted to say something, but paused after remembering everything he was told at the hospital, and how he was made to promise not to say anything yet.
Be careful, sir. My mother is a very vicious woman. She can do anything to get what she wants, so please, promise me you won't do anything yet, until we are sure of what to do.
The back door of the car was opened. Queen came out and went around to help Valerie come out of the car. With Queen's help, Valerie came out of the car, and was taken to her room, while her father remained in the car. Aunt Julian kept looking at Valerie and her daughter, as they walked past her. She was surprised and happy to see that Valerie had gone blind.
Yes, this is perfect for me. Now let me see how you will stop me from taking that store, and every other thing from you.
What are you thinking?
Baby, what happened to Valerie? Hope it's not what I'm thinking.
Darling, my daughter has lost her sight due to the fall she had. The doctor said it will only take a miracle for her to see again. Enough of Valerie. I've missed you so dearly. Can I at least get a hug from my beautiful queen?
True to Queen's observation, days have passed, and Valerie's father cared less about her condition after they got home from the hospital. He hardly checked up on her, and was always harsh whenever Queen came to tell him that Valerie wanted to see him. Unknown to them, Aunt Julian had gone to see the herbalist, who renewed the charms she used on Valerie's father, making her grip on him even stronger.
What's happening to Daddy? How can he abandon me after everything we discussed at the hospital? I hope he's okay. God, please, help me. I feel like I've lost him already. Who is it? It's me, Queen. I'm back. Oh Queen, please come in. I'll join you soon. Queen, how did it go? Were you able to see him? Yes, I did, and not just that. Guess what? You sound very excited. Did he send a message to me? Come and sit down first. It's a surprise. It's been a long time since I got a surprise. Please tell me what the surprise is all about, but first, how's Nestor doing? Were you able to talk to him about school?
Yes, I'm well, and school isn't fine without you, Val.
Nestor, is that you?
Yes, Valerie. It's me. I'm so sorry, Valerie. I'm so sorry. I couldn't believe it when Queen told me what happened. I had to come to see for myself.
I couldn't tell you because there was no way I could reach you. I had to explain your address to Queen and ask her to see you, but I didn't know she would bring you over.
I'm so sorry you had to go through all this. What about your father? What is he doing concerning this?
Nothing. My mother made sure of that. She has taken control of almost everything except the store and Valerie's mother's car. Valerie outsmarted her on that.
How did you do that?
Well, I had a feeling the day my dad called that he wanted to discuss with me. I felt he wanted to give the store to Aunt Julian, so I gave the keys to Aunt Tracy, and asked her to lock the place, and even change some of the keys, and I also told her not to open the store until I call her.
Wow, that was a smart move. No wonder the store has been closed for a while.
Honestly, Valerie did a very good job by listening to her instincts. And I'm glad she did. If not, my mother would have ruined that business with her greediness.
But why didn't your father tell me anything when I asked of you, the last time I saw him at the computer village?
I guess it's because my mother was with him, because I heard my mother saying she wanted to change her phone the other day, and they both went out together.
That's true. I saw him with a lady who was too clingy to him. I guess that's your mom.
Unfortunately, yes, that's her. That's the woman that birthed me. But not a mother to me. That's alright, Queen. I'm just grateful to God that you're nothing like your mom, else, I would have been in serious soup by now.
That's true, Queen. Thank you for being a sister to Valerie.
Nestor, you said you saw my father at the computer village. That means you must be familiar with that place, right?
Yes, I am. Why do you ask?
Nestor, do you remember when I told you about a guy that mistakenly spoiled my father's device that was connected to the CCTV in the store? That's where his office is.
Okay, what's the connection with what you asked me?
What's up, Valerie? Why did you ask? I remember my father said the guy promised to fix it, or get another one for him. I was thinking maybe you could check on him, to see if he was able to fix it. That way, we will have evidence against Aunt Julian. We might even get to see what happened to my mom that led to her early demise.
Wow, that's a good one. I forgot about it. I'll go there now. But what if he refuses to give it to me if he had fixed it?
That's true, Valerie. The man may refuse to give it to Nestor. Why don't we look for a way to take you there, so that the man can release it to you? I believe he knows you. Yes, he knows me because he saw me standing with my dad the day we went there.
Good. Now we have to look for a day to go there, but how do we do it without your dad knowing?
We will do it tomorrow. I heard them talking about a lunch date tomorrow, and I believe they both went out shopping. I heard my mother saying she wanted a new dress for the date, that's why they went out today.
Good. I'll drop my number with Queen. I got a small phone for myself yesterday, hoping to get your mother's number whenever I see you. Please, make sure you call me once they leave tomorrow, and I'll tell you guys where to meet me, okay? At least now we will know where to start from. Or better still, we will get the solution to everything that's happening.
Thank you, Nestor, and I'm so happy you've got a phone for yourself. At least I can now talk to you whenever I want.
Valerie, I need to start going before your dad gets back. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
He wrote his number on a book in Valerie's room, and gave it to Queen before he left. Queen was so pleased to see Valerie so happy and still blushing that she couldn't help but tease Valerie, who laughed effortlessly. Evening came and Valerie couldn't wait to talk to Nestor again. She thought of talking to him on the phone, but Queen had gone to her room to shower.
Maybe I should go and check on her. I'm tired of staying in my room all day.
She said and stood up, holding her stick and hoping to still know the direction to the visitor's room where Queen was. The moment she got out of her room, she heard her father and Aunt Julian laughing. She stopped and listened to their conversation.
Don't worry, dear, tomorrow will be awesome. I've already made a reservation for us. I told you I'll do anything for you.
I'm the most lucky woman in the world right now.
She looked and saw Valerie standing quietly. She tapped Valerie's father on his lap, made gestures toward Valerie, and laughed silently. Valerie's father looked in the direction Aunt Julian pointed at, and saw Valerie standing.
Hey blind bat, what are you doing there? Did you miss your way?
I'm a blind bat today, but tomorrow, by God's grace, I'll become an eagle.
Super Eagle Valerie, we can see how large your wings are.
Soon, Valerie was standing outside Queen's room. She knocked on the door gently, and almost immediately, Queen opened the door and saw Valerie standing.
Valerie.
She quickly assisted her in, and made her sit on the bed.
I'm surprised you're here, Valerie. Do you need anything? No, dear, and I'm so sorry I bothered you. I wanted to talk to Nestor. That's why I'm here. Please help me dial his number. Okay.
Hello, Nestor. It's me, Valerie.
She spoke to Nestor for a while, and it was all laughter and joy. Queen couldn't help but smile. As she watched Nestor talking excitedly on the phone, she laid back on the bed and brought out her mother's diary, which she took from one of her boxes the day they came to Valerie's house to start staying. Her mother wasn't aware that the diary wasn't in the box where she had hidden it. Queen saw the opportunity and made use of it. While Valerie was still busy with her call, Queen was busy reading all her mother's secrets in the diary. It got to a point where she couldn't help but shut the diary, because what she saw was too much for her to take in. She stood up from the bed, leaving the diary, and went to stand in front of the wardrobe with both hands on her head. She couldn't help the tears from dropping at the realization of what she read in her mother's diary. Valerie sensed something was wrong, because she heard Queen sobbed, while she was still talking to Nestor on the phone.
Nestor, please let me call you back. Give me some minutes.
Okay.
Queen, what's the problem? What happened, and why are you crying?
Valerie stood up, and was able to trace where Queen was through the sound of her voice. She hugged her immediately, got to her, and comforted her.
Shh. It's okay, stop crying, else, your mom might hear you. She's so evil, that woman is not human but a monster. Calm down, dear, what is the matter? Come, let's sit down and talk. Talk to me, dear, what did you find out about your mom? I was able to get hold of her diary the day we came here. I had always known that she was wicked, but I never knew it was this horrible. I started reading the diary when you were on call, and what I just found out is terrible. She poisoned your mother slowly till the day she died. She also used charms on your father, and made him do whatever she wished. She also planned to end your life if you proved stubborn to handle, but what got me crying was how she killed my father. It's all right, Queen, soon she will pay for all her evil deeds and justice will prevail.
Valerie was able to comfort Queen, and she stopped crying, and almost slept off, when Valerie told her she was hungry.
Sorry, dear, I forgot we've not had dinner. Let me quickly fix something for us. God, please, come and fight my battle.
Queen, come here now.
Yes, I'm here.
We are going out on a lunch date, and may come back a bit late. Take care of the house, and make sure nobody comes in, do you hear me? See you when we get back.
She started walking out, holding Valerie's father on his arms, smiling. Queen watched as they drove out of the compound, and immediately rushed back to the room to get Valerie.
Let's go, we will meet Nestor at the entrance of the computer village, that's where he said he would be waiting for us. Okay, help me with my shoes. Where could he be? I thought he said he would be waiting for us at the gate. Calm down, let me call him to know where he is.
She brought out the phone, but before she could dial his number, he came out from behind and held Valerie's hand.
I'm here, Val. Don't panic. I've been here since an hour ago. The sun was too much, so I had to sit somewhere, while waiting for you and Queen.
Thank God, I thought you left already. He wouldn't do that to you, Valerie. Nestor is a good guy, and is out to help us.
Let's get to work.
Yes, let's go.
One more thing. While I was waiting for you guys, I decided to use the opportunity to locate the two places where they repair CCTV devices, so that it would be easy, and less stressful for us to get what we are looking for. I just pray and hope they give it to us without any issues.
Oh, Nestor, thanks for being so thoughtful. You're indeed amazing and kind. God bless you.
Anything for you, Val. We are in this together.
Thanks for being thoughtful, Nestor. At least, it will save us time to do what we have to do. Please, let's hurry up. We don't want that woman to get home before us.
Nestor took them to the first office where they repaired CCTV devices, but they were told it was the wrong address. They had to walk down to the second office, which was a bit farther inside the computer village. They got there a few minutes later, and were welcomed in by one of the apprentices.
Good day, please. Is this Mr. Philippe's office? My name is Valerie, and I need to see him.
Yes, this is his office, but he is not around. He will be back soon. I hope no problem.
Not at all, we just want to see him, that's all.
It's like I know you. I think I've seen you here before.
Yes, I've been here before. I came here with my dad to collect his device, but your boss said it was damaged, and promised to repair it. Please, was he able to fix it?
Yes, my boss has fixed it since it's in his office.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank God. Now my hope is so much alive. God, please help me touch the heart of Mr. Philip to release the device to me, please.
Auntie, my boss will surely give it to you. I believe he saw you the day you came with your father, so he has no reason not to give it to you.
But please tell us, is it the main device that got spoiled that he has, or he got a new one?
Yes, my boss later discovered that it wasn't damaged, so he took it to one of his senior colleagues, who helped him to fix it properly. In fact, you won't know that it was faulty before when you see it.
Oh, that's nice, thank you very much. We appreciate you. Sir, my name is Valerie, and these are my friends.
Valerie introduced, as Queen and Nestor greeted him.
Sir, I was here some weeks ago with my father to get his device that was connected to his CCTV, but you told him that it was damaged, and that you would try your best to fix it, or get another one for him. Do you remember?
Oh. Yes, I do remember, Mr. Daniel, right?
Yes, sir, that's my father's name.
Thank God I was able to fix the device with the help of one of my colleagues. But where is your father? Why didn't he come to get it himself?
He's very busy, sir. Please, can we have it now? And how much was he supposed to pay for your service?
Young lady, the last time I saw you standing outside with your father in front of his car, you were perfectly alright. What now happened to you?
She told him all that happened, and their suspicions, leaving no stone unturned, but not without shedding tears. After she was done, Mr. Philippe couldn't help but feel sorry for her.
Hold on, let me get the device.
He went into his office. He came out before a minute and handed the device over to Valerie.
I pray you find the answers you seek.
Thank you, sir. We are very grateful, but sir, can you help us operate it? I would like us to watch the videos here because it wouldn't be safe to watch it at home.
Okay.
Mr. Philippe collected the device and started operating it.
You're lucky it's still connected to the CCTV that was installed. The damage didn't affect it, so I believe whatever record it has up to this moment can be seen. What date should I begin playing the records from?
A week before the day my father and I came here.
Okay.
Queen and Nestor became very anxious to see the contents of the videos, as Philippe scrolled through many records, searching for the right one to begin with.
Alright, I think we are there.
Nestor, Queen, please try to explain it to me also. I want to know everything that happened in those records.
Alright, both of you should come closer.
Soon, everyone was quiet. The sounds that could be heard were coming from the device. Valerie kept listening, as she heard the sound of laughter coming from the device, and then she whispered,
Mommy, I miss you, Mommy. Now it's time to get back everything that belongs to me.
I must be a witness to this, and I think it will be wise to involve the police. Don't worry, I'll handle it. I have my contacts. You and Queen should go home. I will go with Nestor to the police station.
Thank you so much, sir. God bless you. Please, can you help me change? I'm so tired and need some rest. Yes, you should rest. I know you must be very tired. I will wait for Mr. Philippe and Nestor feedback, then alert you if anything. Thank you so much, Queen. God bless you for me. We should thank God instead. He has started fighting our battle for us. Thank you. Let me help you and undress, so you can have some sleep.
I love this kind of case.
She called 2 of her officers to follow her to Valerie's house. Soon, they all left the station and drove off to Valerie's house.
Mommy,
my sweet Valerie.
Mommy, I miss you so much. Why did you leave me here alone? I'm suffering a lot.
I know, my angel, and I am deeply sorry for that. Please forgive my ignorance. I trusted her way too much, and blamed you for trying to protect me from her. Please, dear, forgive your mommy.
Mommy, there's nothing to forgive. Just come home with me and make everything alright again, please.
Everything is about to get better for good, my dear.
How do you mean, Mommy?
Get water in a bowl, read Isaiah 54:17, Psalm 91, 11-13, Deuteronomy 18, 10-12, 2 Timothy 4:8, Colossians 2:15, Ephesians 6:11-12. Read all these verses inside the water, and also pray that God should destroy every spell and charm Julian placed on your dad, and God should deliver him from bondage. Pour it on your father, make sure it touches his face, that way, he will get himself and be free from Julian's clutches.
But Mom, Dad will be so angry with me. I don't think I will be able to do that. I'll ask Queen to help me with it.
No, Valerie, you must do it yourself.
Why must I be the one to do it, Mommy? I don't want Daddy to scold me. He's already distant from me. I don't want to do anything that would make me lose him.
That's because it has to be someone he loves unconditionally. So you see, you just have to do it, if you don't want to lose him forever. It's time for you to go, Val. Make sure you do it just as I have told you, and I want you to know that I love you so much, and I'm always with you. Go now, my dear.
No, Mummy, don't leave me. Please, I beg you, don't leave me.
Valerie, please wake up. Please wake up. Oh God, please, what is happening? Valerie, wake up. Valerie, you are awake. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Father. Valerie, are you okay?
I'm alright, Queen. Don't panic.
Are you sure?
Valerie started rubbing her eyes. It was as if something had fallen off, and she felt relieved. She looked around and saw Queen looking worried at her. She smiled as tears filled her eyes, and with a heart full of joy and happiness, she knelt immediately and thanked God with her whole heart, while Queen watched in confusion.
Val, are you alright? I'm perfectly alright, Queen. Today is indeed my day to rejoice.
Be careful. Hold on, let me get your walking stick.
I can see, Queen. My sight has been restored.
Are you serious? Tell me, Valerie, what dress am I putting on?
A light blue top, and a white short.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Father, you have done it.
Yes, may your name be praised. Indeed, God is with you. But how come? The moment I rested my head, I slept off and I had a dream. I saw myself standing in front of my mom.
Valerie explained everything to her. She awed at everything she said, and couldn't help but thank God for his mercy.
Please, Queen, get me water in a bowl. There's something I must do.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Meanwhile, Aunt Julian and Valerie's father were already on their way home from their lunch date. Aunt Julian's phone kept ringing, but because she was a bit tipsy, she couldn't answer it.
Baby, your phone has been ringing.
Don't worry about it. I'm not in the mood to talk to anyone. This is our time, and I won't let anybody interrupt us, okay?
Unknown to her, it was the herbalist who was calling her. He wanted to warn her of the danger ahead, but she didn't pick up, until her battery went flat.
Commandeer, compose yourself. You wouldn't want the kids to see you this way.
I honestly do not care. I'm the boss of that house, and anyone who does not like it, should leave.
True, but I wouldn't want them to see you like this, so just try and behave till we get to the room, okay? Please, Julian, let me take you to the room. You'll feel much better there.
No, Daniel, I want to stay here. I don't want to go in there to see Vicky staring at me.
Alright then, let me get you some water.
Where's this girl, Queen? Will she say she didn't hear me or what? Queen.
What happened? Why are you shouting?
Can you imagine, I've been calling Queen, and has refused to answer me.
Maybe she's sleeping and couldn't hear you.
Please, can you get her here? I want to ask her something.
Valerie's father sighed, feeling tired. All he wanted was to go to his room and rest. He went to Queen's room, knocked on the door and waited, but no response. He called out her name and slowly opened the door. He peeped in and saw that she wasn't in. He went in, and called out her name again, thinking maybe she was in the restroom. He knocked on the door, but still, there was no response.
Maybe she's in Valerie's room.
He left the room to Valerie's room. He paused the moment he got to Valerie's room. He felt a bit reluctant to knock, but he did, and called out for Queen.
Queen, your mom needs you, she's waiting for you in the sitting room.
He still got no reply. He got pissed and opened the door about to yell, but found it empty. Queen and Valerie weren't in the room. He quickly rushed to the sitting room to inform Aunt Julian.
They're not in their rooms.
What are you talking about? I told Queen to take care of this house. She knows very well not to disobey me. Let me see for myself.
No need for that, we are here.
And where are you coming from with this blind bat? Did I not ask you to take care of this house?
You call her a blind bat, but it's you who's blinded by jealousy and greed. Which is worse than being a blind bat?
Queen, why are you being disrespectful to your mother? What's wrong with you?
It's not your fault. You don't know what you're doing, else you'll thank me for being disrespectful to her.
Queen.
What? Do you think I'm scared of you, or the things you can do? I'm done being scared of you. And it pains me that you are my mother.
Queen, what has gotten over you? Have you forgotten who you're talking to?
She's talking to you, Aunt Julian. Your wickedness and evil acts shall end today.
How dare you talk back at me, you little wretch?
Don't you dare lay your evil hand on Valerie or Queen. Else, you will regret it.
Aunt Julian staggered back, her expression unbelievable. She looked at Valerie's father, who was also surprised at what was happening.
Are you just going to sit there and watch this little boy talk to me this way?
Don't yell at my father again, Aunt Julian. Like I told you yesterday, today I have become an eagle, and I shall soar high. Your evil claws can't get to me anymore.
Valerie revealed to her father and Aunt Julian that she could see.
What? How come?
You were surprised, right? Don't worry, you'll soon know how. Officers, please come in.
The DPO came in, while the rest of the police officer waited outside, including Mr. Philippe.
What's happening here, Valerie? How dare you bring police officers to my house?
Madam, you're under arrest for the murder of Mrs. Vicky, and attempted murder on Valerie. You have the right to remain silent, or whatever you say or do will be used as evidence against you in the court of law.
Wait, you can't come in here and arrest my woman. What evidence do you have to prove your claim?
Don't worry, you'll know when we get to the station. Move it.
No, I'm not going anywhere. Queen, so you connived with Valerie to do this to me, right? Don't worry, you'll pay once I get back. Daniel, do something. Don't allow them to take me away. I'm innocent.
Let me get my keys. I'm coming with you.
He quickly walked to where he kept the car key, but the instant he turned back to follow them, Valerie poured the prayer water on him from his head downwards, and he froze. Everyone, including Aunt Julian, kept quiet while watching Valerie and her dad. Suddenly, a loud cry came out of his mouth, which wasn't his voice, and then he collapsed on the floor.
What have you done? What have you done, Valerie?
She ran towards Valerie, intending to choke her, but before she could do that, the rest of the police officers came rushing in. They arrested her, and took her away.
Please, Nestor, let's take him to the hospital, he is not waking up.
Have told you to calm down. Let's continue praying for him. He will wake up. Your dad is all right.
Okay. Valerie, your dad is awake. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Dad, are you okay?
Val, what's happening? Why am I lying on the sofa, and why are you crying? Talk to me, dear.
Valerie couldn't help but hug her father, as she cried out loud.
It's a long story, Daddy. I'll tell you everything later. Indeed, our God is great and a miracle worker.
A week later, Valerie and Queen were sitting in the parlor watching a movie, when Nestor rushed in shouting and rejoicing. He had been signed by an international football club, and would have to leave the country to play for the team. Valerie and Queen were so happy for him, as they screamed rejoicing.
Let's toast to that.
He walked in with a bottle of wine and glass cups. They all cheered and lived happily ever after. Aunt Julian was taken to court, and was sentenced to life imprisonment.